Good evening and welcome everybody to session 6 of the Ritualcast's presentation of D&D 5e Age of Shackles. I want to thank you for joining us and encourage you to ask questions in the chat or in the comments if there's something you don't understand or would like to know more about. Please sit back and enjoy yourselves as I take the next few minutes to give a brief recap of the highlights from our last game. If you aren't up to date but would like to be, you can also find all of our previous sessions here as VODs or at Doxy's YouTube channel. Our last session finally wrapped up the meat of the Pond Frog Nuisance, Everything Ventured's first quest of our campaign. Seeking a peaceful resolution, the party opted not to slay the kobold that had been harassing the villagers by pilfering shiny items and food. Instead, they opted for diplomacy, even finding a way to convince the hobgoblins that had chased the kobold so far inland to retreat back to their homeland and leave the little village in peace. The quest was not without its difficulties and tangents, however. Lucrata attacked multiple times as the party had been warned, and the three factions of the village never did find a true resolution, leading to some nasty bloodshed and even the death of a villager. Alvar, the town's alderman, seemed content with the resolution that Everything Ventured sought and was eager to return to the status quo of governing his successful village in the Minaho monarchy. Perhaps the most interesting discovery of their quest that they carry with them was the powerful time-altering device gifted to them by the kobold Sneakbeak as they prepared to leave Pond Frog. And despite the power it teased, the group was unable to come to an agreement about how to handle it or what to do with it. With the Pond Frog nuisance wrapped up in a satisfactory way, the party elected to return home to Minaholm in order to collect their bounty, spend some much-needed time relaxing, and then pick up their next quest. However, it would seem that this was not meant to be, as when the Baron's men arrived to retrieve the reported hobgoblin prisoner, the mysterious visitor that had stumbled upon the party on the road to Pond Frog was recognized as the missing third son of King Carl Odenhart and presumed dead brother-in-law of the Baron of Black River. With this news in tow, the Baron's men drew up the forms for an immediate quest requisition, asking Everything Adventured to escort the man to Black River, where the Baron could take care of the situation. They spared a single ranger to assist Everything Ventured and report from their end upon their arrival. With no time to spare, the party immediately set out, now detouring to the barony of Black River, where they hoped to quickly complete the escort of the mysterious visitor, now known as Morris Carlson, and perhaps spend some time recuperating in the township itself. Along the way, however, they were dogged by the insidious Lucrata once again for over half a day, harried and harassed every step of the way. At first, the party was content to continue running, hoping that the creatures would eventually lose interest. However, as our session came to a close, one of the party's two horses, Moo, suffered a rather nasty bite from the beasts, and Esperna refused to go any further, risking her favorite pack animals. She turned to fight, and the rest of the party followed suit. Before we begin, is there anything that any of you, my players, feel that I may have left out of the recap that you would like to call attention to?
We stole a child.
Did steal a child?
We didn't steal a child.
Yeah, they kind of were like, take him, please.
We recruited a child.
That sounds equally bad.
What? Stolen
How
is such a
equally
strong
bad?
word.
I mean, it's not borrowed. You're not bringing him back.
No, but I mean, it's not like we swept him away like a changeling in the middle of the night.
Different kind of stolen.
Shots fired at changelings.
Yeah, wow.
Thought we were a little more tolerant than that, but okay.
It's a
definitely
good
not.
thing. It's a good thing nobody in this group was playing one or wanted to play one.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah, what kind of idiot would want to play a changeling? God.
Yeah.
In Aliord? I don't know. All right.
Okay.
It doesn't look like anybody has anything meaningful to add, so no.
What do you mean?
Stealing a child is meaningful. Yes, the group did convince the village of Pond Frog to relinquish one of their older children who happened to be an orphan and is intended to join the service of the House of Justice, sponsored in via Valentina, and now young Gunnar is traveling with them. All right. Does anybody have anything to add, or are we just going to jump straight into combat?
I think we're hot to trap, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, With at least 3 days' journey ahead of them before reaching the barony of Black River, everything ventured left the village of Pondfrog with relative haste. Unfortunately for them, they were dogged for hours on their first day of travel until they were left with no choice but to turn and fight their pursuers. An injured horse would cripple their ability to travel quickly, and thus the two Lucrota must be defeated quickly. As the party gathers themselves for a fight, Keely, that's the ranger of the Baron's men, hands Gunnar a short sword for himself and tells the boy to stay in the wagon, only to attack if the beasts get close enough to strike the horses. Morris, as well, has picked up the saber from the wagon amongst the party's loot and brandishes it menacingly as he lowers himself to the ground, somewhat gingerly. The two Lucrata, recognizing that their prey has stopped fleeing, pace further back, deep within the brush of the woodlands, utilizing the cover of the northern woods to keep themselves from being viable targets for the spellcaster's missiles. Late afternoon and dead tired from a forced march, everything ventured makes their stand. And initiative. Share the battle.
Greetings! It's a pleasure to meet you.
If I need to add your familiars to the combat tracker, please let me know. But unless they are going to potentially be viable targets, it shouldn't be an issue. I apologize, Doxy, that we did not test a map before we began.
I did test a map that I just grabbed one. It was not this size, so that's my own bad.
Yeah, no, it's not your fault. Unfortunately, the maps are not necessarily universal size. But
No,
at any rate, Valentina, first to act. You have the initiative. I'm watching somebody spin the wagon.
I'm trying to put it back to upright and it won't go. There.
That's just the wheels going.
Yeah.
We're fleeing, I guess.
All right, I'm going to hop off the wagon, grab sword and shield. Does that count as movement? That was half square there.
No, I'll give you that one for free. You can move into your half square for free. I put all of you kind of in that dismount position.
Okay, I'm going to move 20 feet this way, shield in front of me, and take the dodge action.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to type. I want to use my shortcut for dodge.
Esperna, Valentina has acted quickly, and you are soon to follow. What do you do?
So you had mentioned that we don't really have like a clear line of sight.
They are.
Lucrata?
I would consider them as being in cover.
I will probably hop down for free, and then I'm gonna put myself in between Moo and the other Lucrata, and then as my action, I'll probably take a pot shot at it just to test the waters. Let's see. Cast a firebolt. His stupid face! How dare he bite my horse? Pissed.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Oh, you did attack. That is a miss, as the dense foliage provides enough cover to make it a difficult shot.
All right. Well, for my bonus action, I'll just cast Shillelagh on my quarterstaff in case he comes up close, and I'll pass my turn. Preparing for the worst.
Hila, the initiative is yours.
All right, I will hop down and head. Wait, okay, so I get to go here for free, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I forget how to measure.
You can use a line tool via the pointers if you right click and click on pointers and then draw arrow.
Thank
If you
you.
left click and right click at the same time, you can also create a measuring pointer.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm after. Okay, oops. But not on my
That's
token,
the,
huh?
Oh, okay. It's the same thing. his is just a shortcut, which is
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go there. Right next to my girl, Valentina here.
yeah. That's 30 or 20.
All right. How do I get rid of it? I found it. I
Just
found
click
it. I
both
found
again.
it. Oh yeah, and then I'm gonna prepare to attack if I'm approached. If they come within range.
All right, so you're readying an action to attack a Lucrata if it gets within 5 feet of you.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I will end my turn.
Bosh.
Okay. So they are. How visible are they? Sorry.
I mean, they are in cover,
Okay.
so much more difficult to hit, but visible.
Okay. Posh is gonna notice this, and seeing Valentina and Healer go up. Just gonna hop down and move around next to Spooner. And ready in action as well.
What is the trigger for your action, and what is the action?
Trigger if it gets close, and action just take a hit at it.
What is close?
5 feet.
Okay, so if a Lucrata gets within 5 feet of you, you're going to make an attack with your what?
Scimitar.
Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to be
No,
bureaucratic about it,
please.
but
Yeah, I needed mention that. Cool.
all right. The horse is going to. It's calm, so it's not going to do anything. It's going to hold. The Lucrata acts. Sees everybody kind of taking up their defensive positions. I think it's going to stay up. It's in less cover, but it's still in cover as it advances, creeping along the brush like very, very quickly, but also very quietly. Like only its movement is what allows you to see that it was actually there. And of course, seeing the heavily armored Valentina and the burly muscled Hila Dunder in front of him, the other Lucrata is also less inclined to just charge in and try to take a bite out of that. Also going to begin to circle, putting more of a threat in the direction the party was heading.
But I covered myself in dirt, and everybody knows that dirt is tasty. Everybody knows it.
Gila knows dirt is tasty. Morris will kind of take up a position near Sospero, brandishing the saber, which I need. Whatever. I can call him Dinglebop if I want.
Please
I
don't.
love saying that.
Whoa, Dinglebuck.
It's a horse. Horse doesn't know his name. Actually, that's
He
not true.
does
Horses do
too?
know their names. Dus, the initiative is yours.
Okay. We're gonna go 5, 30. I'm gonna stand right over here, and I will loose a firebolt at this guy.
Okay. It is in partial cover, so it'll be a little bit harder to hit, but that doesn't matter when you roll like that. The firebolt sails like dead lock on target and then just collides with a fizzle on one of the stones on the ground.
That is my turn, and I have to click the end button, which is there.
Hilly, the Baron's Ranger, is going to step forward. And there we go. He's going to draw one of the 3 spears from the large quiver on his back. step in front of Posh with a bit of a gallop to it, and just like overhand hurl this thing at the Lacrata in the brush. Is that a hit with cover though? It is a hit with cover. So the spear sails into the brush, and you hear a bit of a growl mixed with a whimper, and you like there's a wet sound as you hear a spear striking flesh. And he's going to raise his shield with no weapon in his main hand. Gunnar will stay in the cart as instructed, or the wagon. Suspiro, not Sospiro apparently. He's also going to stay in place as commanded. And at the top of the round, it's Moo, who does nothing, and the Lucrata. Dancing out to attack Das. Lowermost Lucrata. Like a deer in full gallop. It's such a hideous and monstrous creature moving with like lithe grace is unsettling to watch as it bares its fangs and jaws, but is halted by the. Are you arcane armored?
I am. I have
Armored?
9
Okay.
points
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, my mage
So-
armor is up. Yeah, and then I have my actual. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I meant mage armor. Okay, so the arcane armor shimmers in the air, deflecting the otherwise foul bite of the Lacrata. And as it wheels and turns, it lashes out with its rear hooves as well. This also strikes the shimmering arcane armor of Das, causing no effectual damage. And then it turns to flee back into the woods. Hila, you have the initiative.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna chase that boy. So 5, 10, 15, 20. And I can only go 20, right? Yeah.
Why 20?
No, I can go 30. Sorry. 5, 10, 5, 30. I will go to here.
Mhm.
And I will ready an attack if it comes within range.
Okay.
And end my turn.
Das, you have the initiative.
Okay. I have a question for you. This area underneath the tree, would that be considered dim light?
No, it's mid-afternoon.
Okay. That doesn't change what I'm going to do, but okay. I'm going to. I'm going to move here. Just running up to the side flank of this thing. And as I do so, just extend my right hand. And in my hand just is a weapon is going to form made out of shadow. And I'm going to cast Shadow Blade.
Okay.
And do that real successfully. Okay. So in order to actually get it to appear in my hand, I have to do the effect targeting myself, right?
That is correct. Make sure
So
you're not
that-
targeting the creature too.
Right. Just control click myself, targeting me. Great.
You're also
You're still
you're also targeting the
Sorry.
Lucrata.
there. You go.
There we go. So we do this. And that should give me the thing. And
Yeah, I see Shadow Blade on your character.
okay. I do not.
It's
Sorry.
under your effects.
On the combat tracker.
Oh right, yeah. So it's shown up there. I'm trying to figure out how to roll the damage for it, or attack roll. Sorry.
If
Is it-
you expand, does it?
Gives me an attack with advantage option.
Let's
But-
see. You together. Shadow deals.
What I don't have advantage in this case because it's not dim light,
Right.
which is why I was
Right.
asking.
Right.
If you hit
let-
the magnifying glass on it to expand it, there is a damage field for it.
It gives me a damage option, but I don't have an attack option.
Oh, true enough.
I mean, I
Is
can
it-
just do the
yeah,
d20 roll and
well,
do.
well,
the-
I'm very curious, like what it. I mean, yeah, you can roll the d20, but I want to know what even you're supposed to. Is it like intelligence based? A simple
No.
melee weapon with which you are proficient.
It
okay,
is
so is
a dexterity based attack that I'm proficient with.
wait, where are you seeing dexterity?
Well, it has the weapon has finesse,
Oh,
so I
does
can
it?
use
Oh,
my
okay.
dexterity
Okay.
or strength.
You are right. Okay, finesse, light, and thrown.
So it's just going to be a d20 plus.
So here's what we'll do. I'll make this real easy for you. Items. How about daggers are finesse, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's
There you
that'll
go.
work.
Dagger.
Okay. Now that should show up under my weapons, right?
Yep.
Okay, I do not see it there. Oh wait, there we go. Perfect. Okay.
It's really hard to come over to Fantasy Grounds from Roll20, but it's
It's-
so fucking cool.
All right. So this will be the same attack roll, and then I'll roll the.
Mhm.
So here's my attack roll. It's probably not going to hit. Great.
That
okay.
that is all right. So the psychic blade of shadow whirs through the air with an uncomfortable hum, but gets wedged in a tree branch.
Perfect. Yeah, I am my turn. That's it.
Das, the frail wizard, not accustomed to melee combat, despite his chosen spells, as it would seem. All right, Morris, still a little bit shaky on his feet. He's just going to take one step forward, and brandishing the saber in one hand, he's going to reach out and just kind of like try to comfort Suspiro with the other, and he'll pass his turn. Esperna, you have the initiative.
Alrighty. I also have a question. If I go 5, 10, 15 up to this square, do I now have like a more clear line of sight to where the beast isn't really in cover, or?
I'm going to give it less cover, but it still has
Okay.
cover because it's actively taking cover.
This bad boy's gonna get a fireball to the face. How about that?
Did you say fireball?
No, it's firebolt.
Oh, okay.
I don't have fireball yet.
Because you're a little close for a fireball.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some serious like inner woods meditating before I get fireball.
Inner peace, inner peace.
All right, but I am gonna try and hit him from here anyway. Wah, wah. Then again,
so-
not so much. Too
Another unfortunate moment of spell fizzle as Esperna's aim is quite off.
Well, then I'm just gonna use my last little bit of movement to just go boop boop. Just gonna back that on up, boys.
All right.
I don't like how close they're getting to the horses, and I'm also a little bit concerned about Das being really close up to the other one. But that'll end my turn.
Okay. Healy is going to draw a spear as he charges forward and leaps into the brush, trying to take down the Lacrata himself. Swinging his spear, hitting, and then swinging his shield with the edge first in an attempt to just cripple the creature, just maybe crush the bones of its spine. Now granted, these things are the size of horses, so imagine like a burly ranger of a man doing that flying Spartan gladiator leap and then just bringing the shield around with the edge. Okay, so with a spear embedded in its flank and the repeat, like he just bashes this thing multiple times with his shield. It he batters it literally to the ground and knocks it prone.
It's a good thing he's so burly, otherwise his back would hurt from carrying the team over here.
Posh, you have the initiative.
Okay. Posh, not wanting to be outdone, is going to rush in as well, and just see this broken animal. He's going to. So it's prone. Do I get advantage?
Well, it will affect, like, that effect will happen automatically because it's prone.
Oh, okay,
Like, it
that's
has.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, just poor beast. I'm just gonna slash it. Yeah. Fuck.
Not one to turn down an opportunity to hit a creature while it's down.
Well.
You didn't target it, but
Oh shit. No.
so I'm gonna pull your targeting off of it. Actually, you already did. So just make another attack roll, since it would be an advantage anyway.
Okay.
Just in case you end up rolling it. Okay. So you did hit. Now target it and deal damage.
Okay. Oops.
And this would be a sneak attack.
Sneak attack. Cool.
Nice.
Cool. Oop, did I? Oh, wrong one. Am I rolling this correctly?
You've added it to yourself, but now you need to
Oh,
roll
right,
the
yeah.
damage.
Cool. Oop. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. And...
Flashing the damage.
Oh, sorry. Gonna bonus action dash out of there.
Okay.
Just per the rakish
Right.
audacity. And that's it.
Okay. So the downed Lucrata, having just been, like, quite literally beaten into the dirt and then slashed by Posh, is kind of, it'll like wobbly get up, kind of shake itself to its feet a little bit, and it's going to spin around, kick out with its hooves at Killy. No longer be prone. That shouldn't have been a disadvantage. Would that have hit? Yes. Kicks Killy once. Deals a solid amount of damage, surprisingly. Kicks him again. And as Killy stumbles backwards, it's going to flee into the woods and retreat. Anybody like to pursue?
No.
All right, since nobody's... Nope. Prada as successfully having retreated. Valentina, the initiative is yours.
I'm going to push up 30 feet. Take the dodge action.
Gunnar will move to the other side of the cart and shout some words of encouragement to Gila, Das, and Valentina, and saying, "You can do it! Kill the nasty beast!" And then, of course, he will pass his turn. Saucepro will do the same because he's a good, well-mannered horse. And to the top of the round, Valentina acts first.
Hell yeah, I love it when that happens.
Okay, I want to ready my shield, get a running start,
Oh, dang.
and try and charge it to knock it down.
Okay. That's a pretty solid athletics check. Let me see what it's got, if
Fine.
anything.
Side.
You succeed in your athletics check. You can shove it prone.
That is definitely what I want to do. Open it up for everyone else.
Let me add the prone effect to it. There we go. Is prone. Das, the initiative is yours.
I would like to try to stab it with my shadow sword.
All right. I mean, with it being on the ground, you'll never have a better opportunity.
How do I talk? Oh, it's down there. Double advantage. There. I do have
You don't
advantage,
need-
right?
You don't need to because
well,
it's already
you
got
don't
the
need-
prone effect on it.
Yeah.
That's so fun. All right, cool.
Isn't Fantasy Grounds pretty fucking
Like, mechanically, I don't think there's a better digital system.
I rolled, but it didn't land on the chat, so sorry. Hold on.
You can
Oh,
also
if you- well,
double
if you-
click on your character
Yeah.
sheet to make it roll too.
Yes. And that's much, much easier.
Okay.
That is a hit.
Hey.
Okay, am I targeting him? Yes. Great.
Oh, your other roll was a 1.
Oh, perfect.
Get it out of the way
that's-
now.
So that's going to be 9 psychic damage.
Right, which automatically gets applied to it, so you don't even have to.
Sick.
So the blade screams through the air. It doesn't collide with a tree, and the downed beast is indeed cut open, not entirely unlike a tauntaun, revealing some of its innards.
I'm
That
gonna
thick
move.
muscle layer.
Okay. And I'm going to just kind of dance around it to try to block its options here.
Okay.
That's going to be...
Move the horse.
Get in
is a
there,
good
Moo Moo.
horse. It's a good horse. He stays put.
That is a good horse. Don't get in
Morris is
there.
actually gonna brave the Lucrata, and he's also going to attack with his saber. That is a critical hit.
Sick.
The blade shines through the air, almost singing, not like almost the exact opposite of the psychic blade. It's just like a bell chime as it swings through the air, whistling through the wind, and slices the creature once again. But Lucrata are thick, hardy, powerful creatures, and it remains breathing. Berna, the initiative is yours.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't have screaming or singing blades.
Have fire.
I do have fire. Which, shockingly, I'm going to use. 'Cause I don't have enough movement to go over there and hit it with a stick. So, I'm going to move over a little bit. And we're going to do the thing.
Yes, you do. You have 30 feet of move. Oh no, you're a
I have
halfling. You don't have 30.
25. I got short little
Yep.
legs.
Yeah.
Just gotta sprint. All right. Oh, bother. Sheet, don't do this to me now.
What are
There
we waiting
go.
on?
Okay, I got it.
Oh,
I got
okay.
it. Let me check.
So that was disadvantage, but you did hit. Despite the disadvantage, Firebolt finds its mark.
Yes.
I just
Scorching, a scorching, sizzling 2 damage, singeing the already foul-smelling beast's hair, and filling the air with that lovely scent that I'm sure we're all somewhat familiar with.
Nice. Okay.
So, surrounded, downed, the creature is going to stand first and foremost, and it's going to lash out at those nearest to it. First, DOS. Oh no. As the creature's hooves connect with DOS squarely in the chest, he loses his concentration, and the blade of shadow in his hand evaporates.
How much
by the way,
damage does it do?
it did 11.
Okay.
Now it also automatically rolled your concentration check for you.
Because
which is-
I was gonna say if it hits me, I was gonna shield it actually.
Oh, yeah, you should probably catch me with that a little bit sooner.
Sorry, that's okay.
no,
It doesn't
it's-
matter this time.
It's fine. If you want to shield, you can shield.
Okay. I would
You
to try
cast
and do
shield?
that. Yeah.
What does that make your AC?
It makes my armor class go up by 5. So he might still hit me, but it's 21.
What? 21? No, he does still hit you. Only
Cool.
just.
All right.
Only just. Knocking your concentration, the shadow blade dissipates from your hand. With a successful strike on DOS, the Lucrata will actually turn around and continue the assault on the squishy, dark-skinned elf, or gray-skinned elf, I should say, not to confuse you with any moon elves. This time, though, it lands squarely on the magical shield and does nothing. However, the creature being in a state of being surrounded, it is going to attempt to flee. It can take the disengage action for free, which means it's going to try to retreat. Would anybody like to pursue?
I would.
I want to so bad, but my legs are so short.
I fully will do it. I will pursue.
Well, I mean, it's mechanical, Susanna, so it's less about the size of your legs. All right. So the creature is fleeing, so I will need a Constitution athletics check.
Ooh.
I
Can I?
I'm right
course.
next to it, so I suppose I'll try and chase it down.
Constitution.
Okay.
I mean, if we're all
Constitution
doing
athletics.
Well, I mean, if you want to pursue it, you certainly can.
I kind of can't
All
believe
right.
how shit that roll was for me.
So it adds 1 for every 5 feet that it's faster. So that is 4.
But didn't it use half its movement though to get up?
It does. It doesn't matter. It's mechanical.
Excuse me.
I feel like it should.
In
was
Flee and
prone and then
Pursue,
tries to
it's
immediately
outlined
flee.
perfectly in the player document. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
We didn't
snap.
cover getting up from prone.
Referencing
So,
the
well,
notes.
It does not succeed by 5 or more. It in fact is tied or beaten. So I need another check from everybody. That let's see who is still able to pursue. Valentina and Das can still pursue. Esperna and Gila, if you want to try, your check will be at disadvantage.
I do want to
No.
try.
I will
Okay.
stay with the horses.
Just the same roll?
You'll another Constitution Athletics.
Okay. Damn it!
Das
trip.
catches the creature.
Oh.
So I'm gonna move it down here, and we're gonna put Das right on top of it, and then I'll put Valentina here. I'll put Gila here, and Esperna, you can be about here. So Das, you catch up. You immediately re-enter initiative. It is your turn.
Okay. Well. Oh, I'm such a dummy. Why didn't I do that? That's okay. I would like to. Yeah, I'm going to just try to firebolt it in melee.
Then I'll let you be a little bit smarter, and you would have firebolted probably from here.
If I have the choice, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
That is a hit.
Okay.
Yes.
Juicy hit.
Yeah, solid damage. All right. So hitting the creature squarely in the back, a bit more than a sizzle this time. You can see the burned away skin, and like it crisps up around the edges.
You did
A bit
damage
more-
to yourself too,
Oh yeah, you targeted yourself. Good job.
Whoops.
and you hit yourself with a crit.
I don't know why that happened. I'm sorry. I've had myself selected. Sorry. Okay.
You probably because you took 11 damage before, so your wound should be higher than 2.
Well, I had 9. So this is actually a thing worth mentioning. As an abjuration, when I cast abjuration spells like Mage Armor, I basically have a shield of invisible force around me that absorbs some of that damage.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
reason that I did that was because 9
Oh,
of that
you
11 damage got removed.
You had temp HP. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
So
I
it's
see
technically not temp HP, but I was using that to track it because there's not really a better way to do that, I don't think.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, and then the reason that I have 2 temp HP now is because I cast Shield, which is an abjuration spell, which
Sure.
I gain double the hit points back to my ward per the level of the spell. So that's why it has 2.
Yeah, that's you're totally fine. Totally fine.
And I did not firebolt myself. Okay, that's gonna
Right.
be. Alright, I'll move a little bit just to kind of get out of the way, I guess. That's gonna be my
Always aim the fire away from your own face.
pro tips. Okay, I'm good.
I'm gonna have Killy move. He's still back there. He wasn't pursuing. Gila, you have the initiative.
Okay, so what I'll hear is
You can move through everything, but if you're inside one of the trees, then you're like you have to
Halved.
tell me whether or not you're taking cover.
Sure. Okay. I am going to get to here and attack this man. Wait, no, I have to be one behind because I can't
Yep.
double click for myself. All right, well, I'm going to prepare an action. The same
Throw
thing that
your
I've been
flail
doing.
at it.
I like it. I'm thinking about it. I'm considering it.
You absolutely can. It's an improvised weapon, but you can do it.
Fuck that. I would rather have both of them if he attacks me.
All right.
Oh,
When you
yeah, I
finish,
will
you can-
end my turn. I will do that thing. God, I've been so good about it lately.
Oh, it's fine. Gunnar's a good lad. He stays in the cart. Valentina, the initiative is yours.
Okay. Let's do something stupid. I'm
Let's.
going to charge up to it, jump on it, and try and grapple it. Is that
Okay.
strength
Stick your
athletics?
fist in its wounds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you make an attack roll actually, and let's see, grapple 5. I never remember the grapple rules for
Neither do
5e.
I.
If I recall,
should-
it's straight up opposed strength or opposed strength and dexterity if they're trying to avoid being touched.
Yeah, I think you're right. Grab. Attack action to make a special melee attack or grapple target. If you make multiple attacks, this attack replaces one of them. Making a grapple check instead of using at least one free hand. Do you have a free hand?
I'll drop my sword running up.
All right. You try to seize the target by making a grapple check instead of an attack roll. So strength, athletics. It's going to oppose. No, you find that it wrenches itself free of your grasp.
Figured as much. That'll do it for me.
Posh, you have the initiative. Wait, Posh, were you pursuing?
Nope.
Okay.
So Posh is just gonna. They've got it. They're fine. Their thing's fucked. Jump on the wagon and just chill out with Gunnar.
Sure. Okay. You don't even want to take a shot at with your crossbow?
Nah, they got it.
All right. Morris, he's winded from his attack. He's going to move back over to Suspiro. Both the horses are good lads. The Lucrata, having been caught up to, is going to turn to Valentina, who tried to grab it and likely grabbed at its open, burning, blistering wound, and is just going to do its best impression of going to the dentist. Wait, why is that? Why did it roll? What is it targeting?
It's not targeting anything as far as the
Oh,
combat tracker
it
stuff.
attacked. No, it attacked Das and Valentina. So I'm just going to take both of those rolls. The bite hits Valentina, but the hoof attack will miss. Dealing 11 damage as it finds a small gap and crunches down hard enough to cause some pretty intense bruising through Valentina's armor. Go top of the round. Das, you have the initiative.
Okay. That's gonna be another firebolt.
Ain't broke.
True dat.
That is a hit. And indeed, it is not broke. Yet another
Great luck with these rolls.
Must
Another
be
little-
nice.
ball of fire. Turns the target.
There's almost. Actually, you know what? I will move a little bit. I'll move. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna stay where I am. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. Entering.
Valentina.
Okay, I want to backhand it with my shield as a shove attack to try and knock it prone again.
Okay. That is no dice.
Does not happen for us in this combat.
Yeah, you push your shield up against it and shove, and the creature has turned and it shoves back, and is able to stay very much upright. Being so close to it, you present just the easiest of targets, and so the Lucrata will once again expose its disease-filled gaping maw and attempt to find purchase by biting you. Unsuccessful. It spins, whips its hooves like lightning, and cracks you solidly across the breastplate, dealing 9 damage. Killy will continue to run downward. Morris is going to lean against Suspiro. Hila, you have the initiative.
I'm gonna attack it. I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna attack it. Guys, I'm gonna fight.
Incoming one.
No.
Oh my god.
Man.
Oh my god.
Oh, sad.
Maybe you don't got it. Oh no.
I got all hype.
Do I need to wait for further instruction or can I use my bonus to offhand?
Yeah, no, you can go ahead and bonus
Okay.
action.
What?
That was-
yeah,
that was
was
damage.
damage. I'm sorry.
Hey.
That'll do
there you
it.
go.
Yes.
Okay,
That'll
all
do it.
But next time, target the creature you're attacking.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry. I was just so wrapped up in the fact that I got to do something.
Just make sure you target it, and then remember that we use the brutal crits.
Okay, so I don't know how to make that happen automatically.
I don't. We had a workaround to this. Does anybody remember what it was? Because this is like you guys haven't rolled any crits.
I think we're gonna end up having to manually make weapons.
Okay, so
with that
for now,
damage.
just roll the damage, and then I'll check it. And if it's worse than what a brutal would have been, then we'll make it brutal.
Sure.
You should do. Oh, it didn't even do
The crit
critical
because
damage.
it didn't know that it was a crit.
But that's fine. But that's fine
Aw.
because
Okay.
now I'll just add 8 to it, and so you did 12. Oh, it doesn't have your strength on there either.
What in the
Because it's the offhand
GDH?
attack.
Oh yeah,
offhand.
it
Does
is
not get
offhand.
strength mod.
You're right. You're right.
Good call. Okay, so 12 damage. So I need to add 8 more. That would be right. Do math. All right. So that first just disappointed, like maybe as you're swinging the flail, the chain kinks, and so it just doesn't go. and so enraged by this, you're like, okay, right hand flail, fuck you. Left hand flail, it's your turn, and just
I choose you.
whip it right into the skull of the Lucrata, and you can see it's a bit dazed as the weighted ball connects with a solid crack.
She will scream also, like just get her face as close to its face as possible. Scream, spittle
Oh,
flying
that's a good
out.
idea. All right, yeah, all right.
I want it to
has-
attack me instead of Valentina.
She's trying to give it
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah,
Also
well, I mean,
that. 2 weeks
getting-
from now,
getting
you're gonna
that
be paying for
close-
this.
Getting that close to the creature, just like your nostrils are filled with the scent of just like corpse.
Okay.
For whatever reason, this creature just smells like a week-old, sat out in the sun corpse.
Gross.
You-
Yeah.
The good horses remain good. Posh, you have the initiative. Would you like me to remove you from initiative?
Yeah, I heard
Okay.
healer scream. They're fine.
Yeah. All right.
That's a
You
good
just
scream,
hang
not a
out.
bad scream. Yeah.
So Gunnar will turn to you as they're fighting it and say, "Does this kind of thing happen often?"
Yeah, all the time. This is life. It's fun.
You see his eyes go wide. Esperna, you have the initiative.
Okay. Bet you can't guess what I'm gonna do. Bet you can't
Well,
guess.
Can.
All right.
Does it start with a f and end with an ire bolt?
Why, yes, it does. How did you know? And I'm going to really
Because-
hurl it
Gonna do
from
a
over
boinga
my head.
boinga ire ball.
Because I gotta get it through these trees over here. There
So
it is.
you hurl it overhead and in fact over the tops of the trees. Excellent aim.
Well, in that case, I'm a little bit nervous about something sneaking up on our other side, so I'm gonna let them probably handle it, and I'm gonna go keep watch on the far side of the wagon. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Over by my boy Moo. Gotta keep him safe. And that will end my
Well.
turn.
Well, now it's your turn again.
Hey! Well, hot dog!
Moving back to your horse inspires you to act more quickly.
Sweet. Okay. I'm gonna move around to the far side of the wagon. So 5, 10, 15, 20, and I'm going to hold my action of attacking with my shillelagh stick
Mm-hmm.
in case a sneaky boy jumps out of the woods within 5 feet of me or the wagon, and I can bop him on the face.
All right. Valentina, the initiative is yours.
I would like to make an improvised attack with my shield. Gonna
Mhm.
grab it with both hands and try to plunge the bottom of the shield into it.
Okay. You may attempt to shield bash. That is a. Ooh, no, it's not a hit.
Typical. Okay.
Proficiency when shield bashing in 5e?
Well, it's not an actual shield bash. It's an improvised attack, which wouldn't have proficiency.
It's unfair that you don't get that and one of the NPCs does.
I was a little upset about it when I saw it, and then I saw they got to roll 2d4 as well.
Yeah, yeah. We'll discuss that later because I actually really like shield bashing, but for now,
Okay.
well, what's your proficiency bonus? 2?
Yes.
Then you hit.
Yay. Do
I mean,
only
you're
get one
proficient in
D4?
shields. Shield bashing is just a natural attack, but yeah, go ahead and D4. And you can add strength since you're, you know.
Okay, that's +2.
All right, so 6. The creature is wobbly, and you can see that it bears multiple wounds over its large body. It may be a matter of time before it keels over or perhaps attempts to flee again. Good horse is good. Gila, you have the initiative.
I'm gonna hit it?
You can certainly try.
I can certainly try.
With a much more successful attempt, Gila's main hand flail carries overhand and indeed strikes the creature. I have a distinct feeling this may be the end of the Lucrata, but go ahead and roll damage. Indeed, it is.
With double ones, though.
Yeah.
Just enough.
I needed an upside down horseshoe emote. Doxy, like real bad.
I used to have a like a D20 that was just a natural 1 as one of my emotes. Oh wait, no, I still do. There you go.
Nice. That's me.
All right. So yeah, this crushes the last of the life as you shatter the spine of the massive Lucrata that had harried the group. It falls to the ground limp and twitching. Combat ends. What do you do?
Well, good job, everybody.
Hilo would actually like smell at it and like kind of inspect it and see what kind of things she could learn about it.
Let's see. What might you learn about the Lucrata? I mean, just looking at it, a Lucrata is what you would get like if you took the head of a giant badger, the legs of a deer, the body of a large hyena, and then inside the brain you put the brain of a person who likes to torture and eat people. And then you just kind of stunk it up a bit, let it rot out in the sun for a few months, and ta-da, Lucrata. This is certainly not a beast that. I mean, let's just say it's not a beast of the land. There is certainly a natural air of evil about it.
Oh, we lost someone.
Oh shit, we did.
Camus has gone missing.
Sorry about the cams, guys. Cams and the cam.
I can just lean like this. It's all good.
But the thing is, hey, it's still kind of a thing.
Camus, are you still in the Discord? No, I think we lost him.
I have a sneaking suspicion his internet dropped out or something.
Yeah, most likely. Well, it's all right. We just ended combat. I think he's mostly just hanging with Gunnar. We'll carry on for now, and hopefully he'll be able to rejoin us here shortly. If not, then perhaps the Warforged had a bit of a malfunction.
I can just lean to this side and play as Camus.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome back. Are you
I'm gonna have
officially
to undo
back,
what I
Camus?
just did.
Yes, you will.
That's okay.
Camus? I know you just rejoined, but now we can't hear you if you're speaking at all. Anyway, Camus will get his technical difficulties sorted in some fashion or another. Doxy will do her best to manage the cams.
Nope.
Apologies for the production, but yeah, let's go ahead and continue moving forward.
Oh, got close.
Taking the silence as nobody having anything to add, we can go ahead and continue on the road.
Is anybody
Absolutely.
going to come out
Yeah.
of the woods and tell us that the other Lucrata is dead, since can't really see it from back here in the wagon?
Yeah. I mean, they're checking it out, I guess. Doss will just come out of the woods and like, well, we got it.
Did you bring a
Valentina doesn't
trophy
say
back?
anything. She just climbs into the wagon, just beat up.
Said,
Aw.
well, I didn't bring a trophy back, but Hila is currently sniffing it, so I imagine that means hint on.
Killy will go and fetch his fallen spear from where it fell out of the body of the first Lucrata and just kind of wipe it on the grass. Morris will clean the blade of the saber that was borrowed and place it back gently in the cart. And I suppose you guys can head on your way. I'm
I
not gonna
would
be
have
a dick this
taken-
time. Oh,
I would
go
have
ahead.
taken a piece of the Lucrata.
What would you like to take?
I was thinking a hoof.
Yeah, sure. Do you have a cutting implement?
I was gonna hand axe it off.
Yeah, that's fine. An axe
Just
is a
right on the
cutting implement.
knuckle.
Yeah, sure. Give me a. Oh, what do I want to do here? It's definitely not animal handling, even though you could make the argument that it literally is.
I don't like that.
I would like to exercise that argument. I'm just kidding.
Let's call that a survival check.
Sure.
And we'll make it a strength. Yeah, you get a hoof cleanly off.
Baller dope. She will walk back, just kind of waving it in the air. For warnings.
Sweet. Before we get back on the road, can I inspect the wound to the horse?
Yeah,
and,
sure.
Like
Animal.
attempt to dress it, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll medicine.
I will also pull out potions and hold them out to everybody, for the wounded.
I thought you were just gonna hold them out.
Just so that anybody can take one that needs one.
A cursory glance of the wound tells you that it doesn't need immediate dressing and is likely just a surface wound.
Worried about that.
All right. So as I was saying, I'm not going to be a dick. Valentina, I'm assuming you retrieve your dropped, discarded sword.
Yeah, as I'm walking back, just
Sure.
defeated.
I don't want to be a nitpicky asshole about it, but if you guys drop weapons, it just makes me happy if you remember that you did so and mention it. I'm probably never going to be like, oh, you left your weapon behind. You don't have it, unless it's like ammunition.
Cool.
Hey, Camus, you're back.
When Gila comes back with that, I'm just gonna say, Gila, you do realize that is pretty much indistinguishable from a deer's hoof, right?
Smells a lot different. The fur's
Well,
a lot different.
If you say so. All I'm saying is if you show that to somebody, they're going to maybe not be as impressed as they should.
It's not about impressing, it's about warning.
Warning that you killed a deer.
About a month ago.
I suppose we should be wary of all shacks then.
Oh no!
Oh, you got
missed all of
absolutely
that.
murdered. Yeah. You said, I
Sick.
suppose, and then Discord said no.
Thank you, Discord. Very cool. I said, I suppose we should be wary.
It just happened exactly like that again. You have to turn off your noise gates.
I don't have a noise gate on.
What the fuck?
Oh,
That
Like, you
sucks.
don't, the Discord one isn't even on?
No.
In your Discord settings, and now we turn this into tech support instead of D&D, under voice and video, you don't have it like automatically determining input sensitivity, do you?
My noise gate was up a little bit. I am now turning it literally off.
Okay, so that should be off, and then you don't have echo cancellation, noise reduction, or automatic gain control on, do you?
It does have echo cancellation on.
Go ahead and turn that off too.
Great. All right, so we'll see if this helps. What I was
Hopefully.
saying is, I suppose in that case we should be wary of every hunter's shack that we come across in the forest, since they will have many warnings of slaughtering many vile beasts.
She'll thrust the nasty, bloody, like sinewy hand axe at you and say, "Go retrieve its head then."
I press the digitation, the hand axe, so it's clean, and say, I'm okay.
She rubs it in the dirt and puts it back on her belt.
Right. So continuing along, what kind of pace would you guys like to take along the road here now that you've thwarted the immediate threat of the Lucrata? Do you still want to try and push through the night, or return to a normal pace, or even take it slow?
Well, if Hila was holding out potions without saying a word even. Just gonna take 2. and drink 'em
Absolutely.
At the
Okay.
same time.
That's fair. You can have mine. You can have my share.
Oh, that's what they're for. Like,
I don't take one. You notice that I'm weirdly not hurt considering the fucking thrashing that I took in the forest?
Yeah, like you got bitten and hoofed.
Because I'm actually only down 2 HP from my max.
Oh, I would like to thank Keely for Spartan kicking the first one.
Like you've probably got a bit. You're minus 2 HP. You're probably a bit scuffed, but that's it. Despite the, like as you said, the thrashing. Keely will kind of gruffly brush it off and say, it's all in a day's work. It's what I'm here for. Was happy that the beasts didn't suffer any additional harm.
I believe we discussed last game that if we push him off, try and push through the night anyway to just put distance.
Mm-hmm.
That was before the horse got bitten, though. So, I mean, my vote would be to not push ourselves and to just like camp regularly, but we can
Like the horse is wounded, and like significantly enough that it is an open wound.
Your horse seems to be hemorrhaging.
Well, I tried inspecting it to dress it, and it didn't seem that bad to me. You're welcome to take a look.
let me.
Go ahead and roll medicine. You actually come to much the same conclusion as Esperna, that it is mostly a surface wound. It is bleeding pretty freely because of just like where it is, but there's no immediate long-term danger to the animal.
You can get it hot. But it would serve nothing but an invitation to more corruption.
Okay.
Anywho, I'd like to just take a normal pace and maybe camp for the night.
Sure.
I mean, we there doesn't seem to be an immediate need to try to outrun the Lucrata at this point, and we don't need to be pushing ourselves either.
I could sleep.
Yes, I could do for a nap.
Posh, how about you? Could you sleep?
I could try. I don't need to, but I can.
I find the concept of sleep to be quite fascinating.
It is still strange that you watch us while we sleep.
I mean, I get that. I do. I really do. But you're just so interesting. You burp and you fart. Air comes out sometimes. I don't do that. I wish I would, but I can't.
I want to be a real boy.
If you would like, I could try to show you how to meditate.
What would that entail?
Well, it's kind of like sleep, but not really. It's what my kind does.
Nah. I just like to watch. I'm a bit of a watcher.
Unsettling, but understandable.
I find it a great comfort that we have a guard while we sleep.
Thanks.
I don't really get much rest from meditating myself. I just kind of go into the woods and just kind of think about stuff.
What is the consensus on pace? I would like to know.
Normal
And then
pace.
regular pace?
Yeah.
Average.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then, continuing the conversation on the road, you guys have, you spend the remainder of your daylight, eventually find a place to set up camp. And ultimately, as nightfall comes, there's not a whole lot going on. No more signs of the Lucrata. Nothing else immediately that just seems pressing or concerning. Is there anything that anybody wanted to address before you turn in for the night?
I would like to add the potions to the wagon's inventory so that people can just take them as they need them.
Okay.
And is it possible for me to be brewing potions on the wagon?
No.
Okay.
A bit too chaotic, and there's no suspension in whatever year this
Yeah,
is.
that's super fair.
When we do set up for camp, I would just like to take, like, I don't know, 40 minutes, we'll say, to cast alarm 4 times at, like, in each cardinal direction around where we're camping.
I want to look at alarm before I say okay.
Yeah.
You can probably cast it multiple times. Yeah, that should be fine. That's fine. Investment of time. So you're going to cast 4 alarms. What's the radius of that spell?
I believe it is 30 feet, but I'm gonna check.
It is. Yeah.
It is 30 feet. Yeah.
You'll cover roughly a 120-foot circle or radius.
That's kind of my hope here. Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming. So I'll give you 120 feet of alarm base.
Cool. So I just spent close to an hour putting little symbols around and stuff, and that's that.
That totally works. Okay. Anybody else? Anything at camp, or everybody feels pretty content to just call it a night?
Good. So.
Okay.
I'm gonna share rations with
Gunnar?
Gunnar and Morris.
Okay. I mean, Morris and Killy would have had rations coming out of town. They're not woefully unprepared, especially Morris, who had been basically cared for by Emil. I suppose the leading question here is: did none of you want to speak to any of them?
I would maybe ask Morris what he's most looking forward to about going to Black River. Now that he kind of knows who he is.
Morris will kind of explain that despite coming face to face with his past, none of his memories have returned, and that he doesn't have any strong feelings about returning to Black River. It's just like his hope is that maybe more of his memories will return to him in time, and that that would carry some weight or some meaning to him.
And then I guess we might check in on how Gunnar's doing. As we saw the last time he was in combat with us, he didn't do so hot.
Gunnar announces that he's frightened, and he misses his friends in Pondfrog, and that if this is what the kind of danger that you've obviously a little bit less eloquently than this, but if you're getting attacked by monsters every day, he says, then maybe it was a mistake to leave Pondfrog.
I suppose I'd probably step in there, considering I'm the one who took him from home. I guess I'll sit by the fire and talk to him.
Okay. He seems happy to have the attention and distraction. For sure.
It is understandable that you are scared. You are still a child. When we get to city, you'll be enrolled in academy. They will teach you to be brave. Things like this, they do happen, but it is not so often. We chose dangerous job as venturer. It is not something you have to do. It is option if things get dire. But where I am taking you, they teach you to be just citizen, protecting others. It will not be same kind of danger.
he does his best impression of fully understanding your accent, but the gist that you're getting is like maybe he's understanding every other word, and for the most part, he's just happy to be talked to. Like the meaning is less important than what's actually going through and being just the activity, I should say.
It's alright. He'll come to hate me once he goes through boot camp at the academy.
Sure, he will.
I would like to talk to SB just a little bit.
Sure.
In the morning, I would like to take a look around for useful plants and flowers.
Absolutely. What'd you have in mind?
Anything that I could use to make more of those.
More.
She
more
indicates the
health
potions. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. Absolutely.
If you would assist me, would greatly appreciate. We'd have to get up early.
Well, I guess that's a job for our friend Posh here. Posh,
Yes.
can you wake me up a little early?
Like an hour earlier, sunrise.
An
talking?
hour would probably do it.
Okay, done.
I hope somebody has a clock.
Or, well, he is a clock, so it's fine.
He just sits there and counts.
You're not wrong.
You
I
know-
count that watch.
he very well could, being a mechanical being. So it wouldn't be perfect, but it'd be pretty close. Of course, that would probably take all of his concentration. He wouldn't be paying attention. Yeah. Don't forget your ready checks, by the way.
Sorry.
Posh would like to sit down next to Gunnar after Valentina has talked to him. Take out a lock that he has in his pocket and his thieves' tools, and just kind of in front of Gunnar, just show him how to unpick a lock, just over and over again, and then pass it to him.
Oh, he does it almost flawlessly on his first try.
Ooh, I like this kid.
He'll shrug and say, when you grow up the orphan, it's not always fairness that enables you're able to get your share at the dinner table.
Posh smacks his back and just gives him a wink in his good eye.
So blink then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
As Das returns and Keely finishes building a fire for the evening, he'll kind of explain that, as a ranger of the area, that the fire will keep the lesser beasts at bay, and that if the Lucrata wanted to attack, that they would do so, fire or not. He'll also kind of reveal to the party that he was chosen to assist because, he was the one that they chose to assist them in bringing Morris to Black River because his father is the one who taught Morris to hunt when they were both boys. And of course, Morris is rather unfazed by this. He's just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I know you. And of course, Keely's like, yeah, we basically grew up together. And that's his chief reveal there is that, that's why he's with you guys, and that he's been a ranger with the Baron for several years now. But that as soon as he found out, he transferred when he found out that Morris went missing.
Oh, can I ask him if he remembers any details about the circumstances under which Morris disappeared? Does
He lets you. All that anybody knows is that he went missing. He was an active and avid hunter, and it was just a matter of he went. It's assumed that he went on a hunting trip, and just neither he nor any of his party returned.
Privately to Keely, I would like to kind of ask him out of earshot of Morris if he knows if Morris's wife has chosen any more suitors, or if she's pursuing a different kind of, maybe she's looking for a new husband or anything like that.
He'll kind of scoff and make an impression that, like, he'll say something along the lines of, like, "Ah, you must not be very familiar with kingdom politics." No, it would be incredibly foolish for Morris's wife, who I did not name, but we'll come up with one, to pursue another marriage when she's married into the king's lineage.
They don't have any children, do they?
No,
Okay, I didn't.
they were unsuccessful in their attempts before he went missing.
Well, he doesn't look so hot anymore, so it's probably not going to be super successful now. But
Actually, he
I
started to
could maybe
regrow some
make you
facial
a
hair and
potion for that.
Like-
ooh,
maybe you could. But honestly, Morris is looking better and better every day. He started to regrow some facial hair. He looks a little bit less scrawny now that he's eating regularly. That he has actual clothing on. He looks a little bit less like a beggar. You can actually kind of see those of you any of your characters that are familiar with Menahome Monarchy at all. Now that he's kind of filling back out, will see like there is definitely a resemblance there. Morris will also explain that more recently he has been having increasingly haunting dreams, basically since the party rescued him. And he'll say that ever since Valentina laid hands upon him, his dreams have returned, but they come at a heavy price. He'll explain that in his dreams he saw an older man fall from a ladder, and he had the same dream every night since you found him. And the old man was unable to cry for help and eventually perished because of it. But that upon arriving at Pond Frog, his dreams became more and more clear. And eventually he says that the man in his dreams was revealed to be none other than Emil.
Ooh.
And that he confided this in Emil before you left. And then lastly, a passing glance upward at the night sky reveals a faint blue line streaking across it, definitely sitting lower than the horizon, a wake of glittering dust seemingly suspended in midair as it slowly trickles downward toward the surface like a ribbon flowing in the wind. It's no shooting star and certainly doesn't appear to be a natural occurrence. You know you're 2 months and change from Convalescence Day, so it likely isn't one of the odd anomalies from that holiday either.
Would any of us be able to tell what it was? Would it be familiar to any of us?
Maybe Doss, and maybe actually Doss and Valentina and Posh could potentially recognize it, but I would need an Arcana check from all three.
Yeah, that's not a thing I do.
No, but I'll do it.
Unfortunately, none of you recognize it.
so this isn't like a kind of Aurora Borealis thing that we may have seen.
No, like it's
when we were far
maybe
north.
just above the tree line.
How fast was it moving?
Oh, you didn't see the object. You just saw like the trail.
How fast did the trail appear?
Once somebody glanced upward, they noticed it was there.
Okay.
And you only know that it is a trail and heading in any given direction just due to the fact that the tail of it or the back end is lower than the front end just by the nature of gravity.
So can we tell what cardinal direction it's kind of heading in?
It's coming from, let me look. Coming from the east headed west.
Pale Preservus. I've never seen anything like that before.
Very strange indeed. Yeah, I have no idea.
Maybe a kind of shooting star or something? I've never seen him that low.
I think it's a little bit close for that, but maybe. Could also just be some wizard going on a joyride through the night sky. It's really hard to say.
Can wizards do that?
If you've learned the proper spells, yes. Almost anything is possible, really, although there are not many wizards who would be able to do such a thing. Like me, for example. Definitely can't do that.
Yet, is what I'm hearing.
Very strange, very strange.
Because I love you all and I want you to find my plot threads, I mentioned that there is a dust falling through the sky. We could just stare at it though. That'd be fine.
Oh, it's literally descending on us. Okay.
Oh.
I would love to
That's
inspect
different.
some of that
Is
dust.
is
as
it like
descends.
so it's literally falling down to where we could like collect it or something?
Sure, you could try.
Sparkles! I want to try
so
to collect it.
In fact, as those of you who are interested in the substance do your best to collect it, you'll find that it is indeed almost just a glitter. There's no real substance to it. Even as you see it land on your skin, it will literally like sparkle in the starlight for a moment and then dissipate and is gone.
Hila would be fascinated for like 10 seconds and then bored.
Sure.
I would ask her if this is a phenomenon that she would have seen in her homelands at all. Since she seems bored, maybe it's more commonplace to her.
No, I'm just not interested in it. Can't brew it. Can't fight it.
Yeah, everything that it touches will glitter for a moment and then go out. Trying to think. Yeah, no. Nope. Everything it touches. Everything the light touches. All right.
Huh.
So, as the last of the immediate interesting effects comes and passes, I imagine everybody would get ready to bed down for the evening. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So Das will be meditating. Posh will be counting the seconds. The normal folks will be doing their best impression of getting an 8-hour good rest, even on the packed earth. Killy sets his tent a little bit further from everybody else, explaining that torch blindness is just something that he's not he's not interested in it, and he doesn't need the warmth of the fire, but that he will absolutely be up a little bit earlier than everybody else. Don't be alarmed if you wake up and find that he's already patrolling.
So bad.
And with that, we head into the evening, and everybody's in a deep, restful sleep. It's not long, however, before Posh, your meticulous counting of the time is interrupted by a blast from the woods. And as you hear this blast, you'll look over and see that Killy is in fact missing.
Ah, shit.
So you hear the war horn sound. And charging into camp is Achille. Everybody else is awakened by the blast of the horn. Ripped from your trance is Das. Everybody else is very, very much awake. Gunnar is just like, he'll swat at the air and say, no, not yet. The sun's not up. But what do you do?
I immediately grab my leather armor to try and don it.
Yep, I just get up and grab flails.
How much time does it take to put on your armor?
I think for leather armor, I think it's like 10 minutes.
You think you have 10 minutes? All right. So,
no,
well,
probably not.
Isperna, well, this just makes it funnier. So Isperna is going to be caught like half armored as Keely comes bursting through the foliage and announces a gorgon. A gorgon is on its way here. It's been harried by the beasts, I think. And he's going to dive to the side as it literally bursts into the clearing. Everybody pick a number 1 through 5.
4.
Right. I think Das got 4 first.
I'll take
5.
2.
Okay.
3 for me, I guess.
And there's no way in hell I'm putting on armor, so it's just grabbing weapon and shield.
All right. Who was 3?
Me.
All right. So you're clearly in the path of the charging beast as it comes bursting into camp.
Wait. I have a thing for this.
You don't have a thing for this. You're in the middle of putting your armor on.
Ah,
You are
dang it.
literally surprised. Even like you're the only reason you're not just on the ground asleep is because of the war horn.
Can't like try to roll out of the way.
No.
My halfling nimbleness.
Surprised. Make me say it again.
Am I surprised?
Very. All right. That will be initiative once we actually get going. Share the map. I apologize. This is a large map. You'll have to resize it.
That's fine.
And then it comes bursting in. Healy dives out of the way here. And as it just kind of like, well, we'll see if it collides with a Spurna first. No, the nimble halfling is able to dodge from the beast's rather ferocious-looking lethal horns and avoid being gored by the trampling attack as it rolls past into the brush and turns around, and combat begins. Moo and Sospero are first to act, and they are very, very panicked, and they are going to tug and pull on their reins in an attempt to free themselves from the creature. The Gorgon then gets to go again, turning around, stamping its hooves, and trying to again gore. Another miss as the small, short-statured girl is able to avoid certain death. It will snort and stamp, and as it snorts, you'll see like a green cloud just disperse from its nostrils. Valentina, you have the initiative.
Oh, great time to be a tank with no armor. Gonna push out to it, draw my sword as I do.
And then?
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and push over a bull. I'm gonna do my best to attack it.
That is a miss as your blade clatters off the hardened, almost metallic hide of the creature. I think those of you native to Minahome would be quite familiar with this and know that it is indeed a Gorgon. Now, what you know about it, well, I could tell you a little bit more if you roll well on a nature check.
I'm assuming that's an intelligence roll.
Yes. Esperna with the monstrous amount of knowledge, so I'll just give you everything, and you can kind of disseminate that out as you see fit. Once upon a time, Gorgons were these like creatures that if you encountered one, it wasn't likely you were to live to tell about it. But in more their body is covered in iron plate, and its nostrils fume with a green vapor. In more modern times, like within the last few hundred years, however, members of the Kingdom of Minahome and Volant and even the Aldous Empire have found a way to almost domesticate the creatures, in essence farming them and keeping them on ranches because their blood is invaluable in constructing magic like walls and buildings that spellcasters can't just teleport within. So a city protected by walls built of Gorgon blood can't have an army just teleported inside of those walls. And so it's not entirely uncommon to come across like Gorgon farms or Gorgon ranches. This one, however, does not appear to bear any immediately recognizable brands or marks, so you aren't sure. You also know that they do have the ability to petrify creatures with that green noxious breath. So it should be avoided at all costs if possible. This one also looks quite wounded, or rather, it's like lightly wounded. It's harried. Some of the metal plates have been torn and bent backwards, and you can see that it's been chewed on.
Would I recognize the teeth marks? That
Not,
it's that
not
something's
as
been
it's
on?
charging and actively in combat. Maybe after when things have calmed down.
Okay. Can I yell out? Do I have enough time to yell out to the others?
You have 6
to-
seconds.
I would yell out to the others to avoid its green breath, and that it looks wounded. We can worry about the details later.
Valentina, did you have anything else?
I'm
Dust,
not
the
level
initiative is
5
yours.
I'm gonna shoot it with a fireball.
That is a miss as the energy of the flaming energy just kind of deflects against one of its metal plates.
Okay. And then I'm going to move here. And that's my turn. Cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
It's
You're
fine,
already
the
better
initiative
at
is
this
yours.
than me.
Alrighty, so being up close and personal is not where I'd like to be with this thing. I'm going to move back. Actually, with my halfling nimbleness, I should be able to move through its squares, correct? So
I
I've
believe
got-
so. I'm not
'cause
sure.
I can,
It's
I can
your
move
ability.
through. Well, I can move through the square of any creature that's larger than me. So
Then yes.
I'm actually going to move 5, 10, 15, 5 over
Like
here.
when they were taking the hobbits to Isengard, but they
That's
had to
right.
run under the horses.
I'm running under. Yes, exactly like that. I'm gonna kind of put myself in between it and the horses, and then I'm going to. I'm not gonna hit it with the ice knife because that will trigger a chain reaction. So I'm also going to attack it with a firebolt.
Okay.
And use my bonus. Well, I'll do the firebolt first, and then I'll use my bonus action to do the shillelagh again in case he decides to come after me since he missed me the first time.
Okay.
There it is.
That is just the spell fizzles in your fingertips, likely because of the very frantic actions of the horses behind you, distracting you from completing the spellcast.
Okay.
Gunnar is very much like uninterested in this and is trying to sleep and isn't quite aware of the danger just outside of his little tent. Posh, you have the initiative.
Cool. Okay. Posh, seeing that Keely hasn't got into it yet, and he wants to one-up him from last time, he's going to move forward and attack it. Ooh. And Posh would like to. You said that its plates are kind of pushed out, so there's kind
Yeah,
of
like,
flesh
it's-
that I could
it's-
hit.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely bits of it that are kind of exposed. Killy had yelled something to the effect as he was coming in, that like the creature was enraged and that it had maybe been harassed or something of that effect. And based off the fact that some of its plates are bent and it's definitely got teeth marks and been chewed on, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, Posh would like to aim for the bent plates with his scimitar.
Sure.
Oh,
So you aim at the bent plates, but like perhaps you hit, like you don't see the, like there's a bent plate and you're like, okay, there's some exposed flesh, I'm going to stab or slash there, but like through the arc of the slash you hit another bent plate, which kind of just deflects the blow up and away from the creature.
Oh god, okay. Bonus section dash back. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go here.
All right, I am going to yell to Asperna. Probably get the horses away.
So hold on. Before we do any of that, Posh, the area you're in is maybe difficult terrain. So half
right.
half that
Oh
movement.
shit. Okay.
Is some very thick foliage that you're casually strolling through.
Okay.
It's my bad for not illustrating that.
No, that's fine. Dash. So with a dash, I could move further. What's my speed? Oh, they're still going to be the same. Okay. So it's half movement?
Yeah, half movement.
Yeah. Sweet. Cool. Okay. Fixed.
All right, Gila, you have the initiative.
Yeah, I would yell to Asperna, I would move the horses, but you're better with them. Go. And jump on in. Hit this boy.
Okay. Swinging your flails, screaming like a band. Oh, that was almost a 1. That is a hit. But you should target the creature next time.
Golly! Okay, I'll try that. We'll give that a go. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, and here's our damage. My double ones coming in hot.
Look at all these
You're,
ones.
Very talented with the ones.
I have rolled so many ones today. And then I'm gonna offhand as well. 16.
That is a miss.
Okay, and then I'm gonna back away. I moved 5 feet to get here. And then I would like to back away to avoid the breath as much as I can.
It is going to make an attack of opportunity against you.
That's fine.
Will fling its head in an attempt to catch you with one of its horns.
Listen, it's been a long
Take it
time
away.
and I feel like
It
it's
is
time
just
for the
enough
next
to
step.
hit,
I'm a touch chat's butt.
as it deals 14 damage.
Okay.
Just dragging its horns across your body and opening a line across your back.
Woof.
Anyone want to play Dungeons and Dragons for the next quadrillion years?
Are you finished?
Now I am.
Sorry,
Sorry, I was thinking about it.
Morris will, being awake, is going to realize that he doesn't have a weapon, that he had just taken that one from the cart last time, or the wagon. And so he's going to run to the wagon, which I'm going to say is, let's see, 5, 10, 15, right about here. So let me grab token. So he'll run over there and he's going to start rummaging to try to grab the blade. So it'll take him a second. Keely's going to lift himself up off the ground. And you will see that he is actually like his left arm, his shield arm is fully, almost fully petrified.
There should be by bits. I feel attacked.
And so he can't bear the weight of his shield, but he'll grab one of his spears and just kind of like jam it into his quickly petrifying fist on the left hand, and so that he can wield it with 2 hands and just swing that bad boy, trying to thrust into one of the gaps on the Gorgon's hide. That was a critical hit, and I made the mistake of not targeting.
Suck it, Wolf.
All right, I fixed it. As he does indeed, like just jam that spear into one of the exposed plates, and the Gorgon lets out just an agonizing cry, and like sprays some of that green
Exactly.
petrifying
Don't sass
fumes
me on
into
my
the
birthday.
air, harmlessly, but for effect. Posh, the initiative is yours.
Oh god. Okay. Again, Posh is going to run up. Here. And try and get this beefy boy down. With the scimitar, again, trying to get into the cracks and crevices.
That is a hit.
Nice.
Lovely. Sneak attack. And
A solid strike on the massive metallic bull.
and then get back again.
See that it oozes a green blood even. Morris, retrieving the scimitar, or the saber, is going to step forward and brandish it near Gila, a bit shakily. Oh. Succeeds on freeing himself and flees. He's just off into the woods. Dus, you have the initiative.
I am going to enact a two-step plan. Step one is shooting a firebolt at it.
An unfortunate miss as it just collides with the metal plates ineffectually.
Step two is going to be moving here.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Das leaps the flames of the campfire. They dwindle down and takes a position in front of Gila. The Spiro, also quite startled, is fortunately unable to break his bonds and continues to thrash against them.
It's because he's always been the lazier of the two.
Gunnar comes crawling out of his tent, sees the Gorgon, lets out a shriek and just like scrambles back inside, and you hear him yell out, "Tell me when it's safe!" Killy is going to thrust with his spear again, but given the state of his... Actually, wait, does he succeed on his don't be paralyzed forever? But not by enough. So, disadvantage on his attack due to the unfortunate situation that he's in. He'll try to thrust the spear a second time, but just without the agility and dexterity of his left arm, it is a miss. Scraping against the metallic plates. Esperna, the initiative is yours.
Would it be a full action or a single action to try to calm Suspiro? Like
That would be a full action.
it would be a full action. Okay.
Not a bonus action.
Okay. I am going to attempt to calm Suspiro so we don't lose both of our horses.
Animal handling. Let's see. The initiative order. Okay, yeah, you he's moderately calmed. He's no longer thrashing and yanking against the lead. So you feel pretty confident that you could likely leave him be.
Okay. Well, I think that will probably consume my full turn. Yes, it will.
You could pursue.
Is Moo out of range?
Not yet.
I suppose
He is where he is until I remove him from the map.
Okay, well, I suppose I could run after him, but not sure how much good. I could run after him, calling out to him, but I used my action to calm Suspiro, so my speak with animals will have to wait till the next turn. If I'm gonna
You could call out to him without speaking to animals.
No, I know that. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, I could pursue Moo and run after him. So, 20. Aha! I can just get there.
Yes. Yes.
Just get there. Tiny legs.
Because we need your combat too so bad.
That's right. Alrighty. We're gonna yell after the horse a lot.
Well, you can't yell after him this turn. Like maybe you could say his name, but because I would imagine that soothing words is also part of calming down Suspiro. So
yeah. All right, that will probably end it. If he's so.
Valentina.
Okay, how'd you feel about that shield bash, homebrew?
No, for now, let's roll with what we said.
Okay.
You know what? No. What you said is fine. Just you'll have to track the AC thing.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Just
well.
for the crowd and the rest of the group, you're allowed to make a proficient attack with a shield. It does a d6 damage, but if you do so, you cannot block with the shield until the beginning of your next turn.
So, taking gambles here. Going to try and hit it because that's been going so great.
That is a miss.
Figured as much. And then the second one will be the shield bash.
Right. That is also a miss.
I am down to AC.
Hila, you have the initiative. Reporting a fresh wound from the Gorgon's horn.
I sure am. It's a big boy. I straight up. I'm gonna throw a hand axe at it.
All right.
I duck.
I would warn you.
Well,
Taps
I mean,
with
also,
one hand, chucks with the other.
you are possessing an entire 5-foot square. There's plenty of room to throw an axe. But I appreciate the characterization of ducking regardless. A near miss, or narrow miss, I should say.
Okay.
The axe clatters harmlessly against the Gorgon's plates. The creature turns.
Greetings. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And just breathes its petrifying breath.
Crap.
Oh no.
Poor
Valentina.
No me gusta. No me gusta.
Let's see. On a success. On a failed save, the target begins to turn to stone as restrained. The restrained target must repeat the saving throw at the end of its next turn. Oh, so this one doesn't have an instant. Okay, so it's not a Medusa. So you can... Okay.
You can walk it off.
You can get lucky. Okay, the restraint. Oh, wait. I added petrified to you guys instead of restrained. Let me fix that. Hila is restrained.
Yep.
Gunnar
Right.
is he lets out a cry, letting you know that he is likely restrained. Das is also restrained. I believe it was just the three of you. Is the creature's turn. Gorgon breathes its vile breath. Das, I'm going to have you make the save again, because it is now your turn. And this determines whether or not you're a stony boy.
Cool.
Oh. I was going to roll it for you, but that works too. So.
Oh, Lord.
Das turns to stone.
You're fucking kidding me.
Let me go down the Gorgon here. I mean, you did all stack up. To be fair. Oh. Gorgon, don't target yourself. There we go. All right. Das has turned to stone. Gila. Same. Let's see. A successful save. Gila shakes off the effects of the foul Gorgon's breath and is able to keep herself from turning to stone.
Okay.
You are no longer restrained. That's the effect. Yes. Goodbye, restrained. All right, Gila, you have the initiative.
I'm going to drag Das away so that he does not get shattered by this metal animal.
Okay.
Yeah. Over.
I mean, you've got the strength to drag him, so tell me where.
Right there. Yeah, right there. And then back in front of him.
I'm gonna limit you a little bit. Like you
Okay.
can move 30 feet normally, but dragging a heavy stone statue of your friend maybe
Okay.
a little bit harder. So we'll say you can get him there.
Okay, and then get back semi in front of him.
Sure, that's fine. Where you are now is fine.
Okay. And then chuck my other hand axe at him, I guess.
Okay.
Why did that happen? Because I
you
had
attacked him.
Das. I didn't
Yeah.
mean to do that.
Your attack on the Gorgon, you also attacked yourself.
Cool. I'm really good at this, guys.
All right. I'm going to remove your targets and
Thank
then
you.
I'll... Okay. Oh, no, that was your saving throw. No, you missed. You
Okay.
missed.
And then I'm
once
gonna
again,
look
just
at
bounces
Espy
off.
and shrug. Like, what the fuck?
Oh man.
Are you finished?
Yes.
All right. That's the moment of truth here as young Gunnar makes his save. Oh, he succeeds!
Yay!
The boy's not stoned.
Oh man.
He'll come like bursting out of the tent coughing as like the green, the hot box that he was within empties. And he's gonna see the thing again and see Das like right in front of him, like turned fully to stone, and just look around himself like, what have I gotten myself into? And you'll see him lean down and pick up a stone, and he's gonna throw the rock at the Gorgon.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a hit. Pelting the Gorgon with a rock for 4 damage.
Oh my
Hell
god.
Take that, you bastard.
Fucking MVP.
Morris, with his gleaming silvered saber that he's borrowing again, is gonna go ahead and do his best charge. Letting out a bit of a shout, which is like a gargled battle cry, which may come from deep within his sub-psyche, because even he's not even aware of it. And he swings the saber, and it is a hit, as he deals 8 damage, slicing through it, like cleanly through the metal plates of the creature, drawing some more of that green blood. Keely misses with his spear, and then Valentina, you have the initiative.
Okay, I'm gonna do something crazy.
Love crazy.
Now's the time, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to mount the bull.
Oh,
I don't know what kind of roll you would want for that.
Let's call it grappling.
Shove a fist in its wounds.
Wow.
Is that your answer for everything? Oh my god!
Yeah. All right, you're on.
Yeah, bud.
What is happening right now?
So cool.
Valentina
my-
This
leaps
is my
on the back of the
favorite
Gorgon.
session.
My
It's my
intention
favorite
is
one.
to like try and grab the horns and like turn it away from the group
Mm-hmm.
and maybe like try and run it off away from the camp.
Make a. Oh, ride isn't a skill anymore. Do I have that proficiency gated behind anything? It is animal handling. Are you trained in handle animal?
Absolutely not.
Do it at disadvantage. Make an animal handling check.
We could make the argument that since I had been teaching him about the horses and the wagon and things like that.
I understand, but we're not there yet.
Oh.
Well,
So you go to grab it by its horns and find yourself slipping forward and only are just able to hold on.
Okay, well, it is still grappled somehow.
Yes. Yeah. Bureau is calm. Posh, the initiative is yours.
oh god. Okay. Same thing again. I mean, shit's going down. Jesus Christ.
You got this.
Oh god. Wait.
You attacked yourself again.
Oh. Okay.
You're
But
fucking
either
killing
way,
it.
either way, it's a miss.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna get the fuck out of there, and I'm gonna go 50 this way. I'm gonna hide behind Kelly.
Which to jump and grapple on it, I did drop both sword and shield,
Okay.
so I am unarmed.
I
Okay.
would
Unarmored.
point. I would like to point out to Posh as he's moving that the
Mhm.
last time people bunched up close together, it didn't go so hot.
Good. Yep.
So maybe don't stand next to another party member if you can.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Isperna, you have the initiative.
I mean, I want to attack the thing since we're down a dude, but I also don't want to. Okay, real quick poll for the group out of character.
Mhm.
Use the action to save the horse or attack the Gorgon.
Use the action to save the horse. We're fucked without those horses.
I mean, we're also kind of fucked in general, but
There
One thing at a
is
time.
that, but save the horse. Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Are we are we in agreement? Horse first, then
That's my
cow.
vote.
I mean, I'm
think-
also on the cow. If you roll a 1, you hit me.
Ooh, good point.
I'm sure of it.
Oh, maybe I should not
Horse.
come up and attack next.
No,
No, melee's different than range.
Okay.
Okay. In that case, we're gonna attempt to stop the horse. So,
Animal handling.
animal handle again.
Hey.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Good thing you got to go before he did, because he was gonna fucking peace.
He's a good boy, but he's just so jumpy. All right. I think I'm just gonna stay where I am. Well, yeah, I'm gonna stay where I am. We can move. Well, I'll move here.
The Gorgon, being ridden, is going to buck, attempting to dislodge Valentina. Please make an athletics strength check. You remain firmly on its back, and so it will lash out with its hooves, first at Killy. Missing, just like he's able to duck out of the way. Yes, even missing. And then swiping its horns at Morris. critical hit. Dealing 40 damage as it quite literally impales him
Great.
on its horns.
We had
And-
one
and-
job to do.
Moo is no longer thrashing. We are at the top of the round. It is Killy's turn. He sees Morris get impaled, lets out an angry battle cry, and just leaps at this thing. Hey, that's a critical hit.
Oh my gosh.
How convenient.
Shut out.
Dealing 20 damage of his own as he just jams the spear, and you see him like shaking the spear as it's inside, trying to do maximum damage to the thing. Esperna, the initiative is yours.
All right. Against my better judgment. I'm gonna go 5, 15. Can't get him. Can't get all the way over to him to bop him with my stick. So I'm just gonna move.
That's difficult terrain moving into the foliage.
Oh,
there.
right. So, put myself in between him and the horse, and we will attempt to hit the bull without hitting Valentina. Hopefully this works.
You cast it twice,
I did cast it twice by
but
accident.
the first one was the critical hit, so
Hey.
make sure you hold shift when you roll damage.
Okay. Shift.
15 damage to the Gorgon. So the fire bursts in its face, and you can see it kind of rear its head back, and thankfully Valentina is unharmed. And you can see the scorch marks from where the metal plates on its head are actually somewhat melted from the intensity of the flames.
Nice. That will end my turn.
Gunnar is going to pick up another stone and chuck it.
Good boy, Gunnar. Good boy.
Not a critical hit, but it is a hit. And he deals 3 damage, pelting the Gorgon once again.
Nice.
Still so
Organ.
much better than I've been able to do. all
I was
game.
really
Yeah, what-
hoping he would get the kill shot.
Once again tries to buck Valentina off. This time succeeding as Valentina crashes to the ground. It is
Wouldn't
going
work
to
3
attempt
times in a row.
to trample her
Oh dear.
now that she is off of its back. Targeting yourself, Gorgon.
And my AC is without the shield as well.
That is, I'm pretty sure 26 hits no matter what.
Yeah, well.
As it stomps Valentina repeatedly. And now that it is free, it is going to attempt to charge past. So Keely will make his attack of opportunity.
Is Morris still impaled? Does he go with it?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Keely
Oh, that would
unfortunately
be awful.
misses. Morris will swipe at it weakly. That is just a hit.
Oh my god.
Oh, as it flees, he swings the saber downward, and it just through the carotid artery of its neck, and you just see that green blood just fountain out into the ground, and the bull, as it's fleeing, just crashes and slides, leaving a big gouging rut in the earth.
Yes.
This ends the combat.
I would like to collect whatever blood I could.
Make a check. You have the alchemy skill, right?
Yes.
Make an alchemy check, and we'll see how well you do here.
Knowing what I know about Gorgons and you know, since they're kind of commonplace, would I know of any way to reverse the petrifying?
I'll get to there in a second. Gila, you collect 1 vial of Gorgon blood.
You know what? That's more than I was expecting. So dope.
I mean, it's a whole creature here. It'd be crazy
You know
not
what?
to get some, but
I don't need
but
your
the rest of
negativity
it-
right now. My
Well-
friend is
well,
a rock.
And
He's-
not like
he's the-
emotionally a rock.
right.
I would like to.
Oh.
I'm gonna pick up my sword and shield and gather people close to me. Gonna stab the shield into the ground and then clang it with my sword and do channel divinity. And I'm going to use turn the tide, which roll 1d6 for each allied creature within 30 feet and add 3 times your paladin level to generate a pool of hit points. Choose to divide those hit points any way you choose among friendly creatures below 50%, which is myself and Hila. Does Das count even though he's stone?
If he's no,
No,
and he's not. He's not.
I
As
have
a
almost
die.
no damage on me. I'm just. stunned as
Oh,
hell.
yeah, he's still a creature. He's not dead.
I'm gonna guess the horses don't count.
What is the wording on it? Friendly creature?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, they
Alright,
do.
That is 10d6. Plus 9. 41 hit points to split between us.
Okay. How hurt are you?
A lot.
Me too. I'm 21.
Well, I'll heal you for full and I'll take 20.
Well, will you be back to full? Let's get you to full as a higher priority.
Beautiful, because you're beautiful.
Because you're beautiful and you're worth it. And
Okay,
you
you would
deserve
heal
nice
for
things.
14 then.
Okay.
Maybe she's born with it.
Perfect. And then I would really like to inspect Das.
So first and foremost, actually, I wanted to ask you: do you have an empty vial?
I would have the empty potion bottles from when.
Yeah, I drank 2 of them.
Yeah, and I
Right,
also just
but-
have them in my pouch for potion
Okay,
brewing.
I just wanted to make sure you had some empty containers before saying you got one. So that's fine.
But I would probably reuse one of the ones that she drank because I would have just put those back in my pouch, and my alchemy supplies are probably in my backpack on the way.
So your alchemy check, I'm giving you you probably filled multiple vials, but you have one viable vial. That's
Okay.
because if you just it's got saliva and leftover potion, there's not that so on and so forth. So let's say you probably filled up 5, but only one of them is actually any good.
Okay.
Does that sound fair to you?
Yeah.
Reasonable?
I would also, throughout the night, I would probably try to harvest some animal fat from it if it has it, or if that's even remotely doable.
We'll get to a survival check in a second. Let's address the statue in the room first.
Absolutely.
So Killy, you'll see that his arm where it was petrifying is it's no longer that way. He's been able to shake out the effects, and of course Gunnar as well, even though he's still hacking up along, is doing okay. But Das is indeed solid stone.
I was just starting to like him. You are muted.
Susanna, you're muted.
She knows.
Oh, okay. Sorry, stream is a
She
bit
not
delayed.
in Discord.
Unplug the microphone and plug it back in from the back of the mic. Is the mic key in green? Just give me a thumbs up if it is. All right, I'll take a quick look. Because that's important enough to fix.
Definitely. What kind of stone do you turn into from Gorgon breath?
I think it's a straight up stone ass stone.
Like
lime ass stone ass regular ass stone.
Like if you got knocked over, you would shatter. you would probably
I don't know
break.
if I'd shatter. I mean, I have no idea. That is really not a question for me. That's a question for the DM because there's no like precedent for it. But
Is she still not in Discord? Can you hear us? Thumbs up if you can hear us. Weird.
oh, there you go.
There it
There you
is.
Success!
Hello.
Hello!
Very cool.
Good evening. Okay. So, I was just gonna ask if we were rolling back to my previous question of knowing what we know about Gorgons.
Ah, yes. So you know that it takes potent restorative magic or the blessing of a house clergyman.
Fudge. Well, I would relay that to the group, obviously, if anybody didn't know. But I don't think that just having the Gorgon blood or the alchemy kit is necessarily going to produce a cure.
The petrifying breath of a gorgon can only be reversed by the greater restorative magic, or as I said, a clergyman of the house. But you do know that there are gorgon ranchers, and they would likely be the kind of people that might carry a portable antidote, as it were.
Then we must wrap him in furs. Anything soft, and get him in the wagon.
Keely will actually point out that there is perhaps one of the largest Gorgon ranches is within the territory of Black River Barony. So along the way, or once you get to Black River, it would be a short, maybe half-day journey to get to the ranch, and you could maybe work something out there.
Oh, well, that's not as horrible as I thought it would be.
In fact, he'll go so far as to go over to the Gorgon and like peel back one of the plates and reveal the brand that's in it and say, in fact, this is from the Black River Ranch. And he'll show you.
Take the plate and the brand and show them that it was their beast that caused this.
He'll shrug and say it's probably a good idea. But if you look at these bite marks here, it looks like this one was a runoff from its herd, and it has been running for some time. My guess is Lucrata, and if you asked me, given how intelligent the beasts are, it was intentional that this one was run into me and our camp.
Maybe we leave.
Did we sleep enough? Or did you sleep enough?
Oh.
No, this is like middle of the night still. Killy's an older guy. He likely had to get up and have a walk for prostate issues. But no, just it's still middle of the night. If you want to get your short rest, you'll actually need to return to sleep.
I'm gonna try and tear the plate off that has the brand.
Make a strength check. Unsuccessful. Actually, what is your strength? It's 14? 15? Yeah, you can just tear one off.
I just want proof for compensation.
Yeah. Like I'll give you a take 10 on that. So yeah, you can absolutely pull that off.
I also do want to try to harvest fat from it.
Go ahead and give me a survival check then.
Sure.
And let's call it wisdom.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean the animal isn't a lean animal by any means. It is actually very, very closely related to common bovine, just a little bit more magical in nature. So yeah, you can pull some fat out of it.
Awesome.
How is Morris looking?
Dude is hurt. Like, he's sporting a fresh new piercing. It's a surface piercing. It goes all the way through the torso.
Okay, I'm gonna use my last spell slot to cast Cure Wounds on him.
Right, because he took 40 damage from that crit.
Right.
Wow.
We can't return him in that state.
Better than
I mean, he like Morris is at least aware enough to acknowledge that he's the one who put himself in danger, and once again he'll return the saber to the cart where he got it, the wagon.
I think we should give him one of our potions too.
I kind of want to take the Gorgon horns. I don't know what I'm gonna use them for, but the pack rat inside me is just like, yes, take them.
I could try to break them off for you. I have 18
That'd be
strength.
I'm having a flashback to a past life where there was just this amassed collection of rust monster antennas for some reason.
That wasn't me that time. That one time. The rest of the time it was me, but
If you approached Hila about it, she would absolutely try to get them for you.
I would definitely do that. Be like, please.
All right, how are you going to attempt to remove the horns from this creature?
I will try to like pull them off using my foot, and if that doesn't work,
Being that I am a farm girl and somewhat familiar with bovine, I might tell her that she might try cutting it off.
Yeah, give me a nature check. Let's see.
okay.
No, that's
For Susanna?
Esperna. Yeah, Esperna.
Okay. Sorry,
Your nature
Esperna.
check.
Sorry.
Yes, you can indeed pass on some helpful knowledge to give her advantage on her survival check when she realizes that pulling them off is ineffective.
Okay.
We can once again try to axe these things.
Sure. Do you want me to just roll an attack with my axe then?
No.
Just
I want you to
survival?
make and
Strength
and this
again?
one will. Yeah, let's call it strength again and
Okay.
advantage.
Awesome. Thank you.
$23. Yeah, I'll give you both horns.
Nice. Yes. Where was that for the blood? Where was that for the blood?
Where was that for anything?
I know. What the fuck? Advantage changes everything.
2 Gorgon horns going in the inventory.
I'm gonna tell Morris. Maybe it is better if you hold on to blade. It
He'll
seems
kinda-
this is not simple trip.
He'll look at it and say, "That is a fine weapon, and I would be loath to take it from you. If you have something spare, then yes, but I have not
Use it
earned."
For time being, you can return later when we are not actively dying.
He'll shrug and take it. I should also point out Morris does not have any armor, so he is basically doing this in normal clothing.
Well, I don't have any armor either, so
If only we don't still have the spare breastplate, do we?
no, we do, but it's on.
Has it been
Our
turned
rock
to
person.
stone?
No, because you guys don't wear
he
your
wouldn't wear
backpacks in
it.
combat.
Also, he wasn't
Also,
he
it's
wasn't wearing it
magical.
anyway.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And magical items don't get petrified. So I imagine that and my spellbook are probably the
Well,
only
if it were in a bag and the bag got petrified, then it's
you just wouldn't be able to get
effectively
it out.
yeah.
Although you're right, I guess I wouldn't have all my stuff on me.
Right.
So.
That part of the way that I soft track encumbrance is that I ask you guys to have containers on your person that aren't your backpack because you don't fight in your backpack.
Yeah. So snoop away.
Okay.
Um.
There are so many things that we need to do.
So I guess the first step is to decide: are we going back to bed or are we getting on the road?
Well, if somebody attacked us, somebody set that loose on us.
Yeah, if the Lucrata are actively driving monsters into our camp,
We gotta get going. This is
maybe
too
we
much.
just yeah.
Keely will point out that Lucrata also have to sleep. Like he's gonna be like, "Look, I'm tired, and if you want to go on, I will comply with you because I'm here to escort you. But I am I would very much appreciate the opportunity to rest."
Well, I mean, once again, I am loath to get back on the road because I'm concerned about us being exhausted. So
Do we still have the alarm up that Das put up?
Yeah, but no way to detect anything because he is
Oh,
stone and he's the
he's
one that
guy that
receives it.
Well, never mind.
well, let's start by getting him in the wagon, and then maybe we go back to bed.
I think so.
I don't like
All
it,
right,
but if everybody else wants to do it, I'll do it.
You can quite easily hoist Das and his petrified body into the wagon.
I would like to make sure that he is surrounded by soft things.
Sure, yeah, no,
I'm stuff.
I ain't out here to break off arms and legs. That's no fun.
Okay.
Do not break his ears. It is his most defining feature.
Oh, and they would be so brittle and exposed, wouldn't they? All right. So getting back to bed, it looks like the remainder of your night will pass peacefully.
I would also collect both of my axes. I would have done that before getting the horns.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You used an axe to get a horn, so we're good. Yeah, with the Gorgon defeated, and the party a little worse for wear, everybody is able to finally finish out their rests. Posh tries to remember exactly where he was in counting and returns to it, and does indeed wake Esperna up a little bit earlier than everybody else. And unfortunately, Das, being petrified, does not complete his trance. He's having an extra long trance. But other than that, with dawn comes a new day. And as the sun crests the horizon, the first thing you hear is the racking cough of someone in horrendous pain. A brief investigation reveals that the young child Gunnar, his hands are absolutely dressed in a web of sticky, bright yellow mucus.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Is that something that we would recognize as an effect from the poison green gas, breath, whatever?
Make a medicine check.
I'm not very medicinal.
I am.
You're gonna say medicine-y?
Yeah.
I mean, a cursory glance at the child tells you that you have no idea what the source of this illness is, but that much snot is not good. Certainly not of that color. And as you kind of get close, you'll notice that it does have little flecks of red in it.
We need to get to town now.
And he'll just kind of hold his hands apart and look at you with wide eyes like, I've never seen this much snot before.
Ugh.
You did not grow up among hobgoblins.
And he'll just kind of shake his hands and wipe them on his tunic.
Oh, no. Oh.
And I mean, it is sticky. It's just like ropes of yellow snot.
All right, I'm going to tell him that he's allowed to ride in the wagon, but he is not allowed to sneeze in anyone's general direction. He has to sneeze over the side and not, like, if he keeps sneezing or hacking up snot.
With his nose running and his eyes watering, he'll nod and climb into the back of the wagon. Throughout the day as you travel,
I'm going to try and wash off as much as I can with the water skin.
So you find like this is what's interesting though. So like as you like get the snot wet to try to rinse it, you find that it just gets more elastic.
It's gluier. Ew, ew, ew.
This is awful.
I'm so glad
before we leave, since Posh went to the trouble of getting me up early, I would like to ritual cast locate animals and plants for Gila to find whatever herb or thing that she was looking for.
I would hold out flowers to her, like dried flowers, and be like, this one, this one, this one's good. Not this one.
Give me a percentile check, Gila.
I don't know what that means.
grab a D10 or right click on a D10 and then click the percent and then just roll that.
Okay.
Make sure you roll it in the chat window. So 79. Yeah, I'd say you find a pretty good amount. Let's say you find enough for maybe 3 more potions.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So that bumps us back up to supplies for 8, assuming that the animal fat that I got was enough also for 3 more.
I mean, it's a full-size Gorgon, probably.
Okay.
You'll have to render it, but yeah.
Just for color, can I try to tell her the names of those plants?
Yeah,
But
if
it's
you
just,
guys want to
like,
work
not-
together and come up like with an actual list of what those plants are called, I'm
But
totally
you'll
fine
just-
with it.
You'll tell her and she'll be like, no. This one is child's brain. This one, like, you know, she'll like pat you on the head and be like, you know nothing about plants. Just don't.
Gonna swallow my pride. Be like, you know what? You're right. Let's go find you some child's brain.
Oh no.
I'm gonna shoot a quick look over at Gunnar in the wagon.
Oh, he's got another web and it's like attached to the side of the wagon.
Oh God!
So
And like as
gross.
he tries to like wipe it, it just gets stuck to his hands.
It's making me feel ill.
a little,
just
I'm a
imagine-
little
yeah.
nauseated, yeah.
This is exactly the situation prestidigitation was created for.
Oh no! All right, well
Uh.
let's get on the road. Unless
Well, so what you'll find is that eventually, as it does lose its moisture and dry out, it becomes brittle and is breakable. But yeah, it takes a while. Anyway, returning to the road with the dawn, having recovered the various things you're going to take from the Gorgon, finding some new plants, kind of getting your morning routine going. Making sure that Das's ears are still intact, that kind of thing. What you'll notice, like there's a fierce wind blowing in from the north, and it's just like we have talked about kind of like what time of year it is, right? Just want to make sure I'm not blindsiding anybody with that.
It's like fall.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yes.
autumn, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So a fierce wind blowing from the north kind of threatens bad weather. You'll find Keely goes through his objects and pulls out a thick, heavy cloak and puts that on. Actually, he'll give it to Morris, and I suppose he's going to brave the weather. And other than that, it's just a slow, miserable day of biting cold wind. Just like it howls through the trees. The entire day, Gunnar is just a mess of like the entire side of his wagon is like somebody has taken that classic cheese pizza, only it's snot. Like when you pull it away and all the cheese is stringy and long. Yeah. Just cannot stop sneezing, is racked with like a wet sounding cough, but is trying to be the best trooper he can be. And you'll come together again as night falls. You'll take your camp, and just the wind has not stopped. And other than that, like nothing majorly interesting. That you finished 2 days on the road, 1 more day on the road, and you should arrive at Black River. Is there anything that anybody would like to do this evening?
I'd like to use my druid craft cantrip real quick and just check and see what the weather's going to be tomorrow, because it's kind of for 24 hours, for the next 24 hours. See if
Let's
this
see,
wind is gonna
druid
hurry us.
crap. I only heard it. Instantly make a flower blossom. Where is the tell the weather on this?
You create a tiny, harmless sensory effect that predicts what the weather will be
Oh.
at your location for the next 24 hours.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I got you. So it definitely manifests as like a screaming blizzard. Like it's like instead of like the happy little snowfall that you might get for snow, it's like angry diagonal snowfall.
So, showing this to the group, I'm going to tell them that Pale is not in a good mood and he will not be kind to us over the next day. Tomorrow, if we camp here for the night, tomorrow's going is going to be very difficult.
You'll notice that Keely kind of perks up at your mention of Pale, and seems to give you a bit of a lingering glance.
Can I help you, Keely?
He'll kind of pull his tunic to the side and reveal like the sigil of Pale that has been tattooed into him, and he'll say, actually, knowing what I know, the Lucrata go to ground when it's cold.
Oh, well. First of all, that's beautiful work. That's a quality tattoo right there. Secondly, it's good to meet another follower.
Not all the Baron's men are sworn to the houses.
Well, you don't typically find so many of us I guess pagans in the larger towns.
And he'll look around him and say, I don't see any walls, no castles, no barricades. I'd say we're in good company. In fact, you'll find many of the Baron's Rangers are favorable to the Pagan Pale and much prefer his word and his oversight to... And I just lost it. Who is my other weather god? Iravarus.
Well, I guess with the Lucrata gone to ground for the next day, the only thing we have to worry about is our own travels in the cold and wind.
Would it be better to push ahead? Make up time before we get caught?
That's actually not a bad idea, in my opinion, because the further it's probably going to be slow going in the snow. So if we gain a little time now, we might be better off once it actually starts snowing.
Are the horses good enough to ride that fast?
No. I mean, you can ride them, but they're draft horses, so they're not.
I did mean to pull the wagon that fast.
Oh.
Sorry, my apologies.
No, you're fine. Well, since we rested last night, we could keep going tonight and see how we fare. I mean, since we're not being harrowed by the Lucrata, since they've gone to ground, we won't necessarily have to be as concerned about, running into them again.
I've been saying it the whole time. Let's just keep moving.
Well, we know what Gila's opinion is.
It would be better to quickly deal with whatever that is. And I'll point to the nasty mess on the wagon. Not Das.
Yeah. Though, I mean, at this point, Gunnar has likely sneezed on him.
Aw, man.
It's just inevitable, child, bad aim, that kind of thing.
Doxy
can I
is
get a perception?
disgusted by the mucus. Hila wouldn't be. She would actually offer Gunnar her winter blanket while he was unwell.
He'll take it, and it will become a webby, snotty mess. But he's at least bundled up a bit, especially with the threat of the oncoming snow.
She'll just thrust it at him too. She's not gonna say any comforting words or anything. She just tosses it in his puddle of snot.
Totally fair.
Out of character, this is reminding me so much why I don't like children. That it's rattling my brain right now. Okay. So I think we have 2 votes for continuing through the night to try to get ahead of things.
Oh,
Because if we're only a day out, it's just better to get there as soon as we can.
Yeah, I say we just go just as fast as we can.
Okay.
So it sounds like everybody wants to book it, and
Sheila has
Killy
an
is in
extra spring
agreement.
in her step.
Killy is on board with this plan. He agrees with you that getting stuck in the snow would be terrible, especially with your petrified party member. Once again, you will spot the same blue trail, and I would like a perception check this time.
From everyone?
From it.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, just once again you spot that same blue trail as it touches things. It kind of glitters on them a little bit, but other than that, nothing. Did you guys address Morris, or is he still going in his tunic? I know there was a brief mention of the breastplate.
I mean, it's just laying around.
Hila wouldn't say one way or the other.
I mean, I don't see the point of it now that we're just going to keep going and we won't necessarily run into the Lucrata, but I mean...
You never.
You never know. It could be, you know.
I should not mind. It is our job.
Well, fine by me.
Yeah.
I guess I'll pilfer through our cart, find that breastplate, and
Morris is immediately grateful and thankful. He'll even don it as you travel through the night, and let you know once again that he these are not his things, and he's gonna marvel at just like the polish on the breastplate, and you'll catch him staring repeatedly at the sigil on it, like just he'll stare at it for a little while, and then catch himself staring at it, look off in other directions, and then kind of go back to staring at it again. But traveling through the night, especially in lieu of the upcoming snowstorm, and once again the blue trail just kind of overhead. So as you're traveling through the night, actually you'll notice that the blue trail, it seems to almost be following you. It stays in the sky.
And it looks exactly as it did before, kind of just
Yep.
trailing off towards the west. Are we still being covered with glitter like constantly since it's
I mean,
following
you're
us?
you're moving fast enough, like, cause it falls really slowly.
Did the boy play in that gunk?
In the glitter?
She
Are you
nods.
asking the party, or are you asking?
Yeah, asking the party.
Okay.
I mean, I think we were
Don't
all
everybody
touched
speak up
by
at once.
I think we were all touched by the glitter, weren't we?
For a moment.
We all kind of tried to collect it. And it didn't linger on any of us any more than it did anyone else.
Did he spend more time in it than we did?
Well, Gunnar, did you?
He'll rapidly shake his head no, and you can see there's a bit of a panic on his face.
Right? Nothing.
Do you want to roll insight?
Yeah, I just realized that that's a no-no. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Just tell me why you want to roll insight.
Because Gunnar's a liar.
So you suspect the kid is lying because he
Yeah.
has a history of lying,
Yes.
and you want to gut check him.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, roll insight.
Awesome, thank you.
It's not that you can't ask me to do things like that. Just
Right.
illustrate what's happening. So
Damn.
the boy, he's absolutely hiding something.
What'd you get into then?
I'm just gonna let you go ahead and roll negotiation.
Zero
And you can choose.
charisma.
I was gonna say you can choose which stat you're using. So if this is charisma based, then it's more of a gentle prod. So eventually he'll kind of break down and reach in his pockets and pull out like this small leather sack. And
I got it from the cave.
I am going to swipe it
mhm.
and say, what is it? Before I open it, what is it?
Dust.
Okay, and then I will like, well, I wish Doss was around. Erna? Hold it out to you.
So it's just like a little leather sack.
Yeah, just a little bitty leather pouch tied with a cord.
Okay, I will take it. But before I open it, I'm gonna ask Gunnar. So there's something in here.
He'll
Have-
nod.
Have you
The
been?
dust.
And as he's nodding, he'll sneeze again and just coat himself in the blanket.
Ugh. All right. Wonder if I have anything that would be.
I thought it might help against the monster.
What did you huff it or something?
And shake his head no.
Did you touch it? The dust or?
It got all over me.
It's smart, Gunnar, to use things that you find around you, but when you're in a team, you have to let us know those things.
Well, I don't necessarily have anything for this, but I'm really tempted to open it and just look inside. This would be really handy to have Doss around. He's our magic man. All right. I'm a little leery of opening this now, but maybe we keep it. Oh, you know what? I have the box. I have a small box from that Frida found in the coach. We can put the sack in the box so it'll be safe and nobody will get whatever dust it is on them. And then when we get into town, maybe we find a doctor or some other magic person or something who can help us figure this out.
You gave away that box because that's what the coins came in. And you
No,
put
I
the coins in the
Oh, I
box
did
and
give
then
away
gave
the
it to the
box.
guy.
I thought we just gave him the coins. No, we did give away the box. Never mind. You're absolutely right about that.
I'm always dirty anyway. She just pockets it.
All right.
You can't quit grabbing stuff out of my hands. You're killing me.
Manners are for people who can't fight. I apologize. She smirks at you.
Are you saying I can't fight?
I never said you weren't dangerous.
Well, I'm just worried about you just carrying it around, because if it gets on you, you're gonna turn into that, and I'm gonna point over it at Gunnar.
I was like,
Literal
point
snot
at what?
elemental.
Yes.
I've been worse off.
The actual snot goblin.
All right, well, yeah, I guess we just hold on to it for now and find somebody knowledgeable about it later, because I don't want to start poking and prodding at stuff that we don't understand. in the middle of the night.
Hopefully you guys find someone who knows something about magic at some point.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Yeah,
that we
that would
find
be-
somebody that could cure you so that you can just identify this junk.
Dude needs to learn detect magic first.
I have identify, which is
Yeah,
even
you still-
better.
you
You just
still need to
cast it on
detect magic.
every object.
Identify. That's a rod. What kind of rod? A wooden one.
Okay, next object.
Yeah.
We need to invest in a pearl.
I have an infinite number of pearls. Don't worry. All right. Ready check.
Oh.
I know. It's so hard.
It's
We'll
just
get there
that
eventually.
the cams, so that I can look at the people I'm role playing with, just cover it.
Real quick, I'm gonna ask Gunnar if the dust on the inside matches the dust that's been falling from that blue trail.
He'll shake his head vehemently, flinging snot in every direction. And wherever it gets flung, it sticks to and is now trailing from that to his nose
So,
or his face.
quick clarification. What cave did he get this from?
It's got to be
who are you
Sneak Peeks,
asking?
right?
Well, I'm asking Gunnar, what cave did he get it from? Because in my head, I'm thinking it's not
The
necessarily.
Spirit's Cave.
When were you in the Spirit's Cave?
But you weren't. You came back, and I took Frida, and we went inside.
Did you take anything else from the Spirit's Cave?
Just a few little things.
What else did you take?
I don't have any more. Frida kept it.
Well, that's out of our hands then.
Not our garden.
All right.
If you guys do manage to unpetrify me and there's any trace of bird poop anywhere on my body, I'm gonna lose my mind. Just throwing that out there.
All right. So as the group pushes through the night, it is largely just, you're followed by that strange blue trail up in the sky. You don't see anything there. And now I want to know, are you guys like pushing through the night to gain, like you want to get into Black River?
I thought we were
Like
going
a-
to the rancher.
Well, the
Well,
rancher
there
lies.
is, it's past Black River.
Okay. Then yes. That's what we're
So-
trying for, I think.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right,
I
then
would-
eventually the snow will begin to fall, and it's not too long before it is indeed a howling blizzard that the horses are struggling to pull the cart through, slowing you to almost a crawl. It's actually wonderful that you did make the decision to go, because if you hadn't been moving, you wouldn't be able to keep moving. It is only the momentum of the wagon and the horse's movement that is actually keeping you going along the road. Anybody who's not riding in the wagon will see that visibility drops almost instantaneously once something is out of sight. And so just like keeping a hand on it or keeping a hand on one of the horses is the only way you're able to not get lost in the snow. So knowing this, you push fully through the night. You do all of this stuff. The sun starts to rise. It's still that angry snow. You're pushing through another half day and almost another full day. Absolutely, utterly exhausted to the point where everybody is suffering from level 1 exhaustion. But eventually, you do see the crest of the first homes that make the town of Black River. So like the outskirts homes of what looks to be like very village-esque as you're leading into the town proper, and then eventually, of course, you make it into the town proper. A few people will give you passing glances, but upon seeing the birds emblems on your, wherever you happen to wear them, they'll just kind of go about their business like, oh, okay, it's just birds, no big deal. Of course, a few people might gawk at the like just massive web of snot attached to the side of the wagon, but otherwise, nothing major. Most people are actually just like marveling at the snow. Lots of kids are playing in it. It looks like in the entire day and a half of travel through this like freak blizzard, it probably dumped at least a solid foot, if not more, on the ground, and a good chunk of it is stuck. The air is usually cool enough. Now, as you're entering the town of Black River itself, there is a moment next to the wall with there's a little pond over there where you could swear just about like because it flash froze. It looks as though like in snow, or the shape of snow is like a tentacle curved slightly. But other than that, you have arrived at Black River.
Does Gunnar seem to have improved any?
Let's see. It's been 24 hours. I actually should check. No, he's still a snot goblin.
Okay. So I'm
Just to be absolutely clear to everybody, a town is much larger than a village. There's a significant difference in terms of like the quality of buildings and the objects you can find, and like you could find a blacksmith here pretty easily. Just about all of your basics are going to be here. Whereas like with a village, there might be a blacksmith like a day's ride in another direction. Here, most of that stuff is you have a proper town.
What time of day is it again?
It took you guys like it's like just into night, so just after sunset.
Okay.
Would it be best to split up? I shall go with Morris and Keely and turn in the job. You find medical help for whatever this is.
Are you gesturing to Das or the child?
The child.
Yeah, I'll stay with the cart, guys. No, don't worry about it.
I do not believe it would be best to bring him in that situation to Baron's home.
That's a good
point.
Selfishly, Esperna would want to go to the Baron's home to help turn in Morris. I gotta rub elbows with people in power whenever I have the opportunity.
He can still do one and then the other. He was not going to impress the Baron. She can stay and wash the cart. Because she has no problem just scooping that out with her hands, right? While you guys go talk to the Baron, she can hang at the cart and keep an eye on Gunnar.
And Posh should probably maybe stay with Gila at the cart too.
Dear Lord, hopefully we are not approached.
That's why I wanted to send you with them to go find a medical person.
We will keep to ourselves in the cart.
We will try.
All right. So now that we have a little bit of a plan, let's go ahead and take our 10-minute break. We're doing a little bit late tonight just because time got away from me. But, take a chance, stretch your legs, grab a drink, use the restroom if you need to, if that's all right with everybody. And then we'll meet back here at 43. Yes? No? Maybe so?
Sounds good.
I will be right back. All
Pleasure
right,
to meet you.
Let's go ahead and resume. So the group has arrived finally at Black River. The first thing that immediately comes to mind, or that comes to view, is that this is almost 4 or 5 times larger than Pond Frog, and Pond Frog is a large village. So entering the town proper once again. You guys have been to Black River. You left from Black River, but just to illustrate for the players that it is a much more complete area. I believe the plan is for Posh and Gila to remain as inconspicuous as possible with young Sneeze and Gunnar at the wagon with the horses, while Esperna and Valentina head to the Baron's home in an attempt, along with Keely, in an attempt to Keely and Morris to complete their quest. Is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So if that's the case, then let's do the boring or simultaneously exciting, exoring, or exciting. Let's do that first. So Posh and Gila, what do you guys do to occupy yourselves for the amount of time it's likely going to take them to go and locate the Baron and do all that stuff?
I will be snot scooping.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright.
I don't care. It's gross for sure. I don't make it. Do Warforged make?
No.
mucus?
No,
I
you do
don't
not.
care. It's gross, but I'm like, whatever.
No tears, no mucus, only dreams.
Mm.
So the two of you are going to set to work scraping the snot that has accumulated over the last 2 days. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And if approached by a townsmember or villager, what is the plan?
Hila would talk to him.
Sure.
It just might go sideways.
Sure. So what's going to end up happening is a minor member of the House of Justice is going to approach you, letting you know that they've welcomed you to the town and they'd like to know what your business is, and if you'll be needing an inn or a stable, or a stable for your horses, an inn for yourselves, just kind of like almost like a border check, but a little less formal.
Yeah, I think that she actually would handle that fine. She would say, we will be needing one, but I don't make those decisions alone. We have people escorting a very important person to the Baron.
And he says, and your machine, does it require a tune-up or any additional services while you're here in the town?
She laughs and looks at you and says, do ya?
I mean, there's a lot of things you could do to me, but I don't think you want to do it, so
I
I'm
think
good.
he's all right.
Actually, he'll notice the house sigil and say, oh, one of our own. Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm curious how long you've had him on lease.
I'm not in charge. Like, she indicates the snot that she's scraping out of the wagon.
Hey, almost to accentuate your point, Gunnar will just like create a new web there before you.
Hila will catch it and throw it down on the ground. And like,
Oh no, there's no throwing.
She
It's
tries.
stuck.
She's like, yeah.
Yes.
It's like, I imagine it's like if they had those like sticky hands,
Yeah.
in ring form. Like, there's
Yeah,
a ring and you could,
Just like the silly puttiest silly putty, or sticky taffy. But yeah, so he's he's got his little clipboard in his hands. He's gonna nod wide eyed and say, okay, if you could just check in here that what the size of your group and that your birds and that you have entered on official business, that'd be great.
I don't know how big the party will be coming back. Can you come back later?
He's gonna look
like
he's
scooping
gonna look-
more snot.
He's gonna look at you and he's like, "Oh yes, of course. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have assumed that you knew your numbers. I'll be back later."
He's lucky she's exhausted. She wouldn't even say anything. She would just be like throw a snotty ass hand up.
Yeah. So he's gonna back away, give you a slight informal bow, and you see him hastily scribbling some stuff. He'll cast over his shoulders like, "Does your group have a name yet?"
Not in charge.
You see him
It's
right.
everything venture.
I know it is. I'm just really trying to make a point to this guy.
He's like, as vultures, you should have a name, and you call out "not in charge," and you hear him say, "That's interesting," and then he leaves. All right, so that's kind of going to be the gist of you guys' interaction at first, at least until somebody returns. So, in that same vein, Valentina and Esperna, as you make your way to the home of the Baron, Keely kind of leads the way, and he's like, I certainly hope he's home. This time of year, he actually likes to spend quite a bit of time at Saltbrook, so it would be unfortunate if we were to catch him unavailable. Morris is just kind of gawking at the town because the last civilization he saw was a village, and it was a large village, and dude is just wide-eyed at everything. And he'll lean over and say, "Do you think they have feather beds?"
I dare say they might.
Says, "I remember feather beds." Says, "I think I had one."
That's what you remember?
He looks at you incredulously, like very accusational. He's like, "Do you think I get to choose what I remember?"
The nerve there, I see. My apologies. I suppose a feather bed would be a nice thing to remember.
Gonna throw his hands up. It's like, "I remember that elves make wine. I remember feather beds are comfortable and that I had one, and I recognize this God's forsaken sigil on my chest."
Do you recognize the sigil from... What do you recognize it as?
It's a royal or noble elf house.
Royal, you say?
Yes. Dukes of the Tolmuina elves is the closest equivalent that you could find to maybe our monarchical system. Josiah, correct me if I'm wrong there, but I don't think we ever discussed the status of them. So,
No, not specifically.
I'm giving them a duchy.
That makes sense.
So yeah, he says, "Dukes of the Tolmuina elves. I either had business with them or something. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I recognize it, and I know it."
Interesting.
Does the name Lionel Bennett ring any bells?
Gonna shake his head no and shrug. Actually, it would Killy. No, because he's from around here. Killy doesn't know either.
My husband worked as scout for Royal Guard. I did not know if you had dealings, perhaps.
He's gonna shrug and say it's incredibly possible that I did, and equally as possible that I didn't. I still don't remember being the third son of a monarch.
Just
Hold
wanted
your
to
small-
see if name sounded familiar.
Sure. Oh no, and I appreciate all attempts to enlighten me and help me to recover my memory. Just unfortunately, I do not. As you arrive at the Baron's estate, you will find yourself greeted at quite a large gate by a manned guard, and he'll kind of lean out and he'll recognize Killy and he'll say, "I'll be in my notes for this." So I'm doing it. He says, "Oh, Killy, Jans is not here. Was out hunting. The blizzard hit. Haven't seen him. He'll probably be a day or two." And you see, Killy just kind of throws his hands up, like, "Well, fuck." In fact, he'll say that. He'll just, "Well, fuck. All right." He's like, "Is the lady of the house home?" And the guy shakes his head. He says, "No, she's down in Saltbrook." He's like, "What about Curtis?" And he'll say, "Actually, yes, Curtis arrived this morning. which is why we know that Jans should be arriving within a day or so. Curtis is the name of the game warden that you guys spoke with last time you were here. He was the one who gave you the warning about Lucrata. Killy will say, "Look, I'm going to go meet with Curtis. Would you like to come with me?" We're not going to be able to do any official business until Jans returns, but otherwise, you're welcome to explore the town. As one of the Baron's Rangers, I don't have as much clout as say maybe the Baron himself or even Morris here, but I would be happy to vouch for you and perhaps find you a room.
I'm out of character. A room in town or a room in the estate?
A room in town, but also
Okay.
there's a guild office here, which you may need to check in. But basically, he lets you know that he will be taking Morris with him to basically the garrison or the barracks where Curtis and the other rangers stay when they're here in town. And that he'll send for you when the Baron arrives, unless you would like to come with him to speak with Curtis.
Well,
Would
we might
Curtis
just
be able to sign off on paperwork, or are we stuck waiting?
He'll shake his head and say, "For this, actually, yes, as the game warden, he would be able to stamp off that the delivery is complete. That would be fine."
I would still rather have the Baron's signature. Well, I'm sure they can send for us when the Baron gets here. But we can get the stamp now, so we can turn that in and then come back and talk to the Baron later. Maybe after we've slept and had a bath, even.
I suppose we are not in a rush to get paperwork completed. We still have the boy to look
Killy
after.
will shrug and tell you, Curtis knows the rancher as well. It's why I'm inviting you along.
In that case, we should go and probably get a little bit more information about that.
Would not hurt. I worry about leaving those two with the cart if they run into, let's call it, issues.
Well, we'll make it a quick trip to Curtis and back. Maybe, depending on how far the rancher is, maybe we have time to go see him and get the antidote before the Baron comes back to town.
I do not know how much moving we will be doing in the snow.
Good point. Still, it might also be a good idea to talk to Curtis and just let him know that we took care of a couple of Lucrata, but there's probably still some out there. And that they're known to attack cattle. Or Gorgons. Gorgon cattle.
Livestock. So, the two of you want to go with Killy to meet with Curtis?
Yeah, we'll check in, because Curtis was the one who gave us the pond frog job, wasn't he?
Yeah. As you left, he's the one who, or rather, the Baron sent the message along with him, the one who warned you about.
Well, it'll be worth just checking in regarding that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And then we can go check in with the bird's house or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, the guild office. Okay. So once again, so you'll follow Killy along to the little ranger's barracks, and you find yourself again before the game warden, Curtis Yeager, a sturdy man of middling years, strong back and broad shoulders. He's got that. Behind him, he's got that big curved horse bow, and he'll kind of cock his head for a moment. He sees Killy, offers a formal, familiar greeting, and then he'll kind of look past him and spot you and say, "Ah, the pond frog birds." What brings you to my humble little barracks?
Several things. Not the least of which is that we have solved the issue in Pond Frog, and secondly, as a bonus, we have another quest involving Morris here?
And he'll kind of notice Morris and just jaw drop. He says, by all the houses. And he'll look at Killy, and Killy will nod, and he'll say, okay, yeah, no, I'm very, very glad you came to see me. I will send a bird immediately for Jans and make sure that he makes haste. Was there a reason you came to me? I'm assuming that you must have had some run-in with the Lucrata.
A few.
Yeah.
It seems that they also pushed a Gorgon towards our camp. And it seems you may know the ranch from which it came.
He'll kind of cock his head. He's like, pushed a Gorgon into your camp?
More like drove it, harried it, chased it, bit it, drove it into our camp.
They are intelligent creatures. Did you do something to piss them? Like they'll hunt you for nothing, but this behavior I've never seen. Did you insult the creatures somehow?
If stabbing and bashing is insulting, then yes.
Yeah, if you left one alive and it got away, I could absolutely see them doing something like that. You said something about a rancher for Gorgons? The closest one here is
We found
the...
it branded.
Do you have... can you describe the brand to me?
We never got it described to us to begin with. I would have left a piece of animal carcass in the cart, not...
Yeah, so I mean, you can just tell me that you kind of illustrate it to him. And, upon seeing, it's like, oh, yeah, that is the Bjornsson Ranch. Half day's ride from here.
Would you happen to know if they have treatment for people turning to stone?
He laughs and he's like, oh, if anybody does, it's Broadus Bjornsson. Did somebody come afoul of the Gorgon's breath?
Luckily, only one.
I see. And how long has it been?
About a day and a half.
Day and a half, yeah.
So he'll slap his big meaty hand on the table and stand up. And he says, look, this isn't official guild business by any means, but bringing Morris here, I'll give you this one. And he'll go rummage around in a small chest. He's gonna get out a big like when you wrap steak up, just like butcher paper wrapped around something and tied with a bit of twine. He's gonna hand it to you and say, this is from me to you, not from the warden to the guild. All you need to do is smear this on whoever is coded or whoever has fallen victim to it, and they should be fine here in about an hour.
Well, thank you.
It is much appreciated.
You didn't happen to take any trophies or anything off of the Lucrata, did you?
We may have gotten a foot.
Anything at all can be researched. You're not obligated by any means, but I'd consider it a fair trade.
We'll ask if we can take our friend's trophy, and she might be willing to part with it. But we'll have to ask her.
He'll nod somewhat seriously and look at Morris again and say, okay, is there anything else that you needed from me specifically, or would you like me to send for you when the Baron arrives?
We would like to be sent for when the Baron arrives. Obviously, we should take the cure to our party member and get some rest in the meantime.
Killy will say, wouldn't you like Curtis to go ahead and mark your quest complete.
Yes, we can turn it into the guild. Why not?
The-
And I'm just
the-
gonna start rummaging in my sack for my paperwork.
He'll explain to Curtis that Velas gave you guys an official quest to escort Morris to Black River, and he kind of nods his understanding. And he'll basically press his palm to the form, which they are all magical. That's courtesy of the guild. And it's not like a check mark or a ding or anything, but it indicates that the contract is complete. And so you should be able to turn that in along with your Pond Frog nuisance quest to the guild office.
And Morris, it is no rush. It has been a long day. When you get some rest, we will see you tomorrow. You can give us back the belongings that we lent you.
Actually, when you got into town, he would have removed the armor and left the saber in the wagon.
Okay.
He's a man of his word, at least so far as he knows. But he thanks you again for your help. Of course, sporting a newly dressed wound, but still alive, still kicking. In fact, as you guys kind of leave the building, you'll hear Curtis and Morris and Keely all kind of talking about the Gorgon encounter, and Keely will point to the wound, and you see him like pantomiming the fight. But other than that, you guys are free to return to where you will find Posh and Gila. Gila at this point is just like probably the cart is like snow is just melting into the snot, and it's just a rubbery mess. But she's done a pretty good job of scraping one side. There's just snot all over the ground.
Oof.
Like as the crusty bits get chipped off the cart or scraped off the cart and they hit the snow, they uncongeal themselves. In fact, you'll notice with your passive perception that they seem to be almost wriggling in the snow.
You walk up on her saying to like Posh and Gunnar just like, be useful. It could be used for traps. We could put it on our weapons. I don't know.
Throw it. Put it in a bag.
Perhaps an adhesive. Normally, I have to boil the roots of trees for days to get an adhesive this strong.
You could boil the hoof of your Lucrata to make adhesive.
She totally got it to give to somebody, so I'm jazzed about that interaction. Gila doesn't know about it. Doxy's jazzed.
Or you could use it to make Jello.
Which is actually that's how they figured out to make glue. Because they were making gelatin.
Very
delicious. Well, I'm gonna walk up to the cart and say, well, my bonny lad and lasses, guess what we've got?
What's that?
I'm gonna hold up the little package over my head, and it's like, we don't have to go to the ranch after all. We can help our stony-faced friend right now.
Gila will start pulling him out of the cart, and you will be able to read on her face that she's thinking about propping him up in the snot in the snow, and then she's like, that's too mean, and doesn't do it, and puts him up to the side.
I could ritual cast speak with animals and get a crow to come land on him. And he wakes up and
Not in this blizzard.
But then again, maybe not.
We just have laughs about pranks that we could pull now that we know we have a cure for him. We were all very worried, and now we're excited.
It was, however, not free.
Oh?
The game warden is looking for information on the beasts that we fought. So any part of them would help them.
Sure.
Would you be willing?
You wouldn't even have to ask. Like as soon as Valentina was done, she's like opening a belt flap and just like holds up this sinewy fucking hoof and is just here.
It just like
Take
smells
it.
bad.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
We will meet with them again tomorrow. You can hold on to it.
Do it yourself. In the bag.
Yeah.
Well-
I mean, when she opens that bag, just the smell of corpse, just ripe, fills the air.
Well, who'd like? I mean, I guess either Val or I am gonna have to spread this on Das because Gila and Posh are probably covered in snot and probably shouldn't handle it. Guess I'll do the honors.
So when you unwrap it, you'll see that it is like a hand-sized brick of butter.
That is not what I was expecting. So is it just like exactly like butter, like the smell and the feel and everything like that?
It's kind of grayish, but yeah, it's got the same texture, same greasiness to it.
Hey, I will take this
Would
stick.
it be better to get an inn, do this indoors, not in the middle of the street here?
As you say that, I don't know exactly what to call him, just like the town captain or whatever the busybody is.
The
He'll come back.
liaison.
Yeah, sure. That's a fancy term for a job that nobody wants to do. Anyway, Captain Clipboard will come back around. And seeing that there are greater people, it's like, yes, someone who knows their numbers. Purpose of visit, reason for visit. I see that you're birds. I see that you're vultures. Surely you have a name.
Oh yeah,
This is
guy.
all standard procedure. You guys are very familiar with this.
We will tell him that we are everything ventured, and that we're here on official business for the Baron, and that we have a quest to turn in, and we're very tired, and we need to know where to find this place to stay for the night.
And, he'll
some
point out.
medical help.
Yeah.
He'll point out that as members of the guild, that it is the guild's responsibility to house you unless you would like to pay out of pocket, and for medical services that there is a member of the House of Life that can be found near the Baron's estate.
All right, so he can sign off on his little clipboard. We'll go to the guild office, I guess.
Says you will find that the house of the fair lady is small here, but capable.
I'm assuming that we already know where the guild office is because we've been in Black
Yeah.
River before.
Yep, the Black River Guild office is actually where you picked up the quest to go to the Pond Frog Nuisance.
Am I the only one that thinks that we should unstone our friend before going to see the birds?
I feel like if we smear it on him now, it's gonna take about an hour for it to work. So we can smear
Right,
it
but then
on
we're
him
doing
right
it
now.
outside, and then it snows on him, and then washes it off.
That's a good point.
Cover him in the snot blanket.
Do I guess, don't we have like a tarp or a tent or something? Somebody's got a tarp or a tent.
No, your tarp
No?
or a tent teleported out.
That's true. The only one with the tarp teleported.
And you no longer have Keely or Morris, so...
All right, well...
Let me see what's in my bag of tricks here.
I mean, I have a not snot-covered blanket.
You want it to be butter covered though?
Butter's probably easier to wash out than snot.
Also, it'll all probably soak into our dude. I have a bedroll that we could plop over the top of him.
I mean, if you want to pay out of pocket, you guys can stay anywhere you like in town. You would know that if you go to the guild, they're basically going to put you in like Section 8 housing.
I'm cool with that.
You guys are vultures, so you like have some perks of the guild, but not a whole lot. Like you get to stay for free in places, but it's like a Motel 16.
I grew up in a wigwam, so that shit's the Ritz-Carlton to me.
No, this is worse than a wigwam. This is a shanty.
Is Das from this branch or the main city?
I think he was in Minahoim.
Okay.
Yeah. That's correct.
I should let you add to the things that you're able to add to. I apologize.
That's okay.
Honestly, I just forgot you were here. No, I'm kidding.
Aww. I think we should spread it on him right now. I think that. And
Well, I just want to know.
move it along, get under cover.
Go get a room, put him on a bed, smear him down, and just let him wake up in a bed.
Well,
As
then let's
opposed
do
to
it now.
Yeah, that's why we're going to the guild.
I just feel like we should do it before we go to the birds. Because if we
So
show up
paying
with
out of
a
pocket?
stone bird,
It's probably not the weirdest thing they've seen.
We just leave him in the wagon. He didn't have to come into the birds with us.
so that he wakes up in a puddle of snot.
It's already
He does
in
have
the wagon.
prestidigitation.
Well, I'm just saying, don't smear him right now.
Okay, so it sounds like Gila wants to either butter him up in the street or butter him up in a bed that you pay for out of pocket.
Yeah. Yes. Just now.
You could-
Like as now as possible, we should do it.
In the town of Black River, you can purchase up to a modest stay. Well, no, you can purchase up to a comfortable stay at an inn. So your options are squalid, poor, modest, comfortable.
Okay. You know what? I'll get a squalid room and take him there while you guys go report to the birds.
So for 1 silver piece, Gila is going
Oh
to.
shit! I've got a gold. We can bump it up a bit.
So that would be modest. And there's a price per day. So for a gold, you can stay in a modest room. Squalid is what the birds would put you in for free.
Okay.
So for your gold piece, you purchase a modest room. Modest lifestyle keeps you out of the slums, ensures that you can maintain your equipment. It's a little bit of an older part of town, like maybe renting a room at a boarding house or a nice inn, or even like a house temple. You won't go hungry or thirsty, and your conditions are clean. So like you might think laborers, students, priests, hedge wizards, or even soldiers with families. This is the kind of life that Valentina lives back home.
I'm just
So,
imagining Gila traipsing in with a fucking stone dude under her arm, covered in snot, and like carrying a brick of butter over her head like a server, just like, can I get a room?
So you walk into an inn in this beautiful illustration that you've just narrated for us, and the innkeeper doesn't even look up. Is like, bird business upstairs.
Yeah.
I would do it. I would go.
All right, so Gila gently lays Das into the bed, and if you don't mind me taking some liberties here, climbs aboard him and just begins to butter him down.
I thought I
Just-
was
just
gonna
with-
do the buttering.
Well, because Gila's the one who took him.
Yeah. So,
So
I
with-
just
with-
wanted it
We're heading
done.
off to report.
Yeah, so with
Oh, that's
elbow
right.
grease.
We're reporting.
Just like really giving him some elbow grease, just like shoving this brick of Gorgon butter, getting in every nook and cranny, and it actually works a little bit faster than what Curtis had said, and maybe it's due to the vigor that she's using, or perhaps the amount of time that he's been petrified. But Das, you kind of start to come to with Gila like on top of you, just I don't know, cowgirl, reverse cowgirl, whatever you want to choose. Just like buttering between your toes.
Yeah.
She's delicate. Don't worry.
In my stream of consciousness, this just went from that to this.
Yes.
So, like, I wake up mid-sentence, like, Gila Morris, what the hell is happening? Where am I? What is going on?
She just puts a hand on your chest, like, back behind her as she's, like, rubbing butter in your tongue.
I do not
It's just like,
consent to this.
You got petrified. I'm fixing it.
Thank you.
Wiggle your toes. And then she looks
There's
back and smiles because you can't. And then she gets off of you.
But it was the only way to get the leverage you needed. But yeah, eventually you regain the full use of your extremities. The extremities are last. You have your core and like your brain, all that jazz. It's first, and then eventually you get your fingers and toes back. But it does consume the entirety of the butter. I guess Curtis probably would have been very clear to tell you that you used the whole thing. But yeah, Das has returned to the realm of the conscious. So before we get, yeah, oh, very, like, absolutely, like you've just been dipped into a vat of butter, room temperature butter. I should add. So it's not melty or anything. It's only room temperature because it was so cold and just like the body heat of Gila warming it up and the friction. So you got that nice extra greasiness to it.
It's like when I do coconut oil treatments on my hair. It starts like solid and then it like melts against my head. It's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, she would look at you.
I was gonna say you'll also find remnants of the snot goblin's web in various places on yourself.
Yeah. In the next 5 seconds, it's just me looking at him going, oh.
Very sorry.
Just horrified.
Slowly using prestidigitation to clean as much as I can. Like,
You'll find it is ineffective on the snot.
what have you done? What happened?
The kid stole
While I
some
was
dust.
petrified.
Just everywhere.
I
Out of his
cannot
nose,
overstate.
out of his mouth.
I cannot overstate how grateful I am to you, nor how repugnant this entire situation is.
Welcome back.
Please tell me there is a bath here.
Does
There a
Hila know
bath
that word?
here?
Repugnant.
She would know repugnant. She would barely know bath.
There you go. So a bath would be an additional purchase. It would not come with modest living.
I would toss him a gold coin.
Toss a coin to your wizard.
Yeah.
I need to clean myself for the next several hours.
Das, would you please give me an Arcana check?
Okay.
Who has tossed a coin to your witcher stuck in their head? Was that somebody?
Every single person does now.
Ooh, Das, you recognize the snot.
Oh.
It is an enchantment. It uses dust, and so basically what it does, like, it is living snot. Once enough of it has been expelled, it will create a literal snot golem.
Whoa.
I will just say to Gila,
They're incredibly dangerous, I should add.
Who is the snot monster among us?
Gunnar,
She told you it was
the boy.
Gunnar.
Oh. Where is he right now? Where? Okay.
I guess he'd be with me. I didn't.
I can take you
so
to the cart. I could take you to the office.
It is.
Yeah, is Posh the only one at the wagon with Gunnar?
Yeah, I didn't go butter up. I didn't do
Right.
anything. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you recall, I had mentioned that it looked like they were wriggling in the snow, the tendrils of snot. I mean, you'll notice as he continues to sneeze and continues to sneeze, and like despite all of you guys' efforts, like it just like what you'll see is you look behind you, and just like the trail of your wagon, there is just a river of snot slowly like crawling toward you.
I feel like this is going to be a horrible lesson in never split the party.
Yeah, and
I'm really nervous.
Finish my thought. All I'm going to
Yes.
say to you is it is imperative we find him and plug something in his nose or just try to stop that snot from exiting his body because it is going to form something very dangerous.
It wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. I mean, follow me, but it's just sticky. God.
Yeah, just let's go. I do not have the energy for this right now. Please.
I would have said that as I was like leading you out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just pictured Das with like the dainty lady, back of the hand on the forehead, falls back on the bed. I don't have the energy for this.
Precisely.
Anyway, as Esperna and Valentina reach the guild office, and you know they're greeted by a clerk. That's actually where we're going to end a session. So the River of Snot approaches Posh. Das and Gila have just come to terms with his unpetrification and the terrifying knowledge that the child is a walking snot golem incubator. And of course, as we had mentioned, Esperna and Valentina just now arriving at the guild where they are being greeted by a clerk.
What a
Well.
session.
Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Yeah, a lot. But
We can't catch a break, huh?
nope.
Man, wouldn't a long rest be awesome?
Don't worry, it's coming. Actually, I had intended to give it to you at the end of the session, but unfortunately, he did not. Little Gunnar did not make his saves against the snot golem infestation. So, it will probably be at the end of next session. What I will go ahead and announce to you guys is to go ahead and have your level up ready. Make your decisions.
Nice.
Know what you're going to take and have. Because I'm not sure at what point we'll reach that during the next session. It may be at the very end, but I just want to make sure that you're all ready to go for your next level by the when it comes. But it will be at the end of your long rest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. If anybody has anything that they would like to share, please feel free to drop it in chat. Guys, I would like you to follow Ritualcast. Please feel free, Wolf, to talk about that a little bit while I retrieve a link.
I mean, it's just a Twitter account for a D&D channel. I use it as a little bit of a hub to remind me to let people know that, we are a concerted group. We're all together. It's not individual Twitters or anything like that. But if you want to know when our next session is going to be, or hopefully when VODs go live, as long as I can get a notification once they go live, I'll make a tweet about it. Or if you just want to know any general information about like what's going on with the campaign, when we're playing next, anything like that, then follow Ritualcast Show on Twitter. It's at Ritualcast Show, and that's where you'll find basically all of our updates.
That's for you if you hate my content but love our D&D. I'm just kidding. No, we all do tweet about it, but please follow Ritualcast Show because I mean we might not always do this on my channel, And then Josiah, if you want to pimp your channel too.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's about D&D stuff, specifically D&D monsters. There's a video coming out. It's been coming out tomorrow for the past 3 days, but I swear it is actually coming out tomorrow, maybe. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's coming out on Monday. it's gonna be a banger of a video, I'll tell you that much.
Does it have snot golems?
It doesn't. I would love to tell you what it's about, but I literally cannot pronounce the name of the monster, and I'm not even gonna try, because it is a monster from Pathfinder based on Aztec myth, and they're like star gods, and it's a lot of T's and Z's. It's gonna be cool. So Tuesday, check out that video when it goes live on my channel. And if you are so inclined, it's just Dungeon Dad on YouTube. If you search it, I hope that's the only thing that comes up.
Can I just say, I think the echo cancellation fixed your mic.
It definitely did. It for sure did.
Sick.
All right. Thanks, everyone.